All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the game. I did a little mini thing where I scared everybody. We're,
Wow.
we're unmuted.
Ah.
We're in the game. Hello, everyone.
Wow.
What's up,
Spooky.
Allison? What's up, Edgar? What's up, everybody who's hanging out? We are playing some D&D today. Everybody, get fucking hype.
Woo.
Get crazy, get stupid.
There we go. Thank you.
It's spooky.
Get spooky.
Get spooky. Wait, who? Edgar's starting off the stream very sadly. Who is? I don't think I know who.
Oh yeah,
Liam Payne is.
from One Direction.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh.
Liam Payne fucking died.
Holy shit.
Fucking wild, right?
That's like
Rest in peace, bud.
that's youth. That's
He was like
Yeah,
in his early
31.
30s.
that's very unfortunate. That sucks. Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
it's
a
whack.
real one.
Rest in peace, King.
Well, it's fitting that we're starting with a funeral.
Woof.
It was dark. All right, guys.
What the?
Woo! Let's go!
Now that I've said something
Woo,
indefensible,
funeral.
let's get started. What's everybody?
Problematic.
What's everybody? What's everybody?
What's everybody?
What's everybody?
Welcome channel.
Welcome channel. What's happening forum?
Let's wag everyone.
Let's wag everyone. We're playing some D&D today. Woo! Getting fucking crazy. The what you are is a snake egg. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Everybody introduce yourselves. Klaus, go.
I'm Klaus. I play Griffin. I'm a paladin satyr.
Hooray. Morgan, go.
I am Atari Nightfall. I am a warlock.
Jesse, go.
Hi, I'm Jesse. I'm playing Hira, who's a monk rogue. I took another level of rogue
Of course
just
you
so I
did.
can steal the torch.
Jesus. Next up is Julian.
Hi, I'm Julian. I'm playing Ritter, who is he's a cleric, a Tempest cleric, and yeah.
Yeah. And no others. All right.
Thank God that's
others.
over.
All right, Taylor, fine. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Taylor. I play Mordecai, our Monster Slayer Ranger. Definitely not playing him because I'm ready for the new Monster Hunter game. Not at all.
And who just recently slayed a monster, as far as he's concerned.
Sure did.
Man.
Earned the
I
paycheck.
mean, I called him my friend, but yeah.
Headshot.
Everybody's like, fuck this guy.
All right, my friends.
You domed him.
Hee hee.
My friends. Who wants to give me a recap of what happened last session for a point of inspiration?
I will.
Okay, go.
Okay, so last session, Ritter had like a heart-to-heart with Ismark, and he was like, oh my god, I went to battle with you, and Ismark was like, haha, yeah, you sure did, and somehow you're alive, bitch. And then we were all trying to sleep, and Hira was the one who woke up to hearing outside. So being the good boy he is, Hira trotted on out and found Mad Mary, bless her sweetheart, at the gate, sobbing. She had an old doll with her that she was petting, and she's a grieving mother. Come to find out, girls have been taken from their homes, not just Mary's home, but other homes, by Strahd, and they have never been seen ever again, and the grief of it all traumatized her so bad that she is the Mad Mary we know today. Then in the morning, we decided that we were going to visit the church to see Father Donovich, for the Burgermeister's funeral and subsequent burial, because Ismark said, oh, I can't show up now. Grow up. And Ritter and Mordecai were like, hee, let's explore the graveyard and let's find a good spot to bury him, because that's not morbid at all or strange. Everybody else is inside, and they're like, okay, fucking Donovich is hiding something. This shit's whack. Ritter and Mordecai also picked up on that, so Ritter decided to use Turn Undead. And that caused a wretched beast from the depths of the church to start wailing. And we discovered that Donovich was harboring his vampire spawn son, who is who also went to battle beside Ismark. There's a cat trying to open my door, and it's kind of scary. Horror movie. Anyways, we corner the vampire spawn in the basement with Donovich at the door like, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. And you know who fucking did it? Mordecai. Because he is a monster slayer. Matari tried so fucking hard to get him to stop. Everybody tried so hard.
It
But
was
Mordecai,
down to one random flip of the coin.
Mordecai pulled out holy water, manacles, all kinds of shit. Just to
Tried so
kill.
hard and got so far, but in the end,
It did matter.
it didn't matter.
It did. Fuck you. Ugh. And we ended there.
All right,
With
thank you
the
very
vampire
much.
shot through the head.
And you're to blame.
Yuki! The party.
Not the sheriff.
All right.
But he didn't shoot the deputy.
Shut up. Take your point of inspiration. All right, my friends. We are going to begin a little bit after. We're gonna say a few minutes have passed, and we open to Father Donovich's voice. That night, that accursed night, we were attending the duties of the church, my boy and I. The congregation had just left. That's when we got word. Dalvin, the burgomaster's man, brought news of a traveler visiting our village from beyond the mists. Not altogether an odd occurrence. We had buried many adventurers like him over the years. But the way Dalvin spoke of this man seemed different, as if this was the man to truly bring us salvation, this wandering wizard. Doru was always enamored of the tales of travelers, bless him, so I freed him of his chores. Every young boy deserves to feel wonder once in a while. By the time I had set the chapel right, it had grown quite late and Doru had not returned, so I set out to the town square to find him. What I found instead was a veritable rally. The people of the village hung on the words of the burgomaster and the wizard, rapt by the man's plan to slay the devil Strahd. I tried to convince Doru that this was folly. The boy had never even held a sword, let alone slain one of the monster's minions. But he was determined, that boy. His mind made up long before I brought him home. The last words we said to each other that night were cruel, venomous. Thoughtless words born of worry. I would make amends in the morning and beg him again not to go, but when I arose, it was already too late. The wizard and his new militia had set out for the spires of Ravenloft before dawn, to make better use of the daylight, I imagine. That grim morning was full of prayer. Prayer for children and siblings on their quest, none of us at peace, none of us knowing what would happen. It wasn't till midday that we heard the first of the bloodshed. The howling of beasts and screams of the dying filled the air. High above the castle, fire and lightning arced through the sky. Great bolts of energy as the wizard fought the vampire lord. The battle raged above Ravenloft for what seemed like eternity. All I know is that when all was again silence, Doru and the others never returned. Only the burgomaster's son was spared. I prayed for nights on end for my son's deliverance, that by the god's grace he may be returned to me. My prayers were answered. Would that the morning Lord were more merciful. As I tended the graves one day, I heard sounds of great calamity from within the chapel. I rushed in to see the matter and saw him. My boy. He was in pain, and in his fits he had destroyed the chapel utterly, save for the altar itself, which he seemed afeard to breach. He called me in his anguish, and I embraced him. It was a miracle, I thought. My son was delivered back to me. He wept into my shoulder, crying of a horrible pain in his stomach. I told him I would see him safe and mended, that the Lord had saved him after all. But then I saw them. Wicked fangs, eyes black and bloodied. Doru had found his way home, but I cursed the devil for what he had done to my boy. Still, I promised to keep him safe, to see him mended. By his light I shuttered him in the Undercroft. He would be safe there, safe until I could see him delivered from this curse. It was my duty, as a father and a holy man, to save his soul. He wailed through every night, screaming of his unceasing hunger. It broke my heart to hear him suffer, but no food I could offer would satiate, would quell the pain in his gut. Mercifully by day he slept, and so too did I try, but my dreams were consumed by his pain, and my days with prayers unto him. There came one day a traveler seeking sanctuary. I tried to turn him away as I had all others, but they were desperate, attacked by beasts on the road and mortally wounded. I couldn't let them die. I took them in and did my best to minister to them, the iron stench of their matted blood stinging at the senses. And then again did Doru scream. The stranger heard and leapt up in fright, shouting of a demon beneath the floor. I tried to calm him, but nothing would assuage him. He grew agitated, frightened, ready to call upon the burgomaster to deal with this unholiness. I could do nothing, as Doru continued to shriek. I would not lose him again. One swift blow is all it took. One swift blow, and then my poor child could feed. Could be momentarily spared the torment of his curse and the pain in his gut. I made my peace with the gods and continued my work. I prayed endlessly for his deliverance, not for mine. My soul was forfeit, but his I could still save. After all, what duty does a father have but to his son? Donovich's head hangs low as he sits on the ground of the Undercroft, cradling the corpse of Doru, all of you surrounding him as he spills forth this tale of what had happened and of what he had done. What does everybody do?
Griffin would cup a hand on Father Donovich's shoulder. He's in a better place now. He's not suffering anymore.
I don't know that to be true.
That's all I can offer you.
All those X's on the doors. Ritter kind of says, this is the first time Ritter's probably spoken since the deed is done.
Yeah.
And he's in the far back of like the base. Are we still in the basement?
We're still in the
or did we-
basement.
Okay, he's in the far back of the basement, probably back where Dora originally was. Then the spiritual weapon, if it's still out, it's still
Sure.
out. If it's timed out, it's timed out.
Go ahead.
And it's kind of just twirling. And he'll ask, he'll say, Was that you?
By the gods, no. Those houses were condemned. Their inhabitants already deceased or dying. I would minister to those doors, to those cursed places, renewing the seals every few days. And when I heard no more activity, I would collect to keep Doru sated, to keep him from breaking out. I've made peace with what I've done. I know that the Morning Lord's embrace does not wait for me. I only wished to spare my boy from his pain. What else was I to do?
I'm sorry. And Ritter will kind of like shuffle, I think, to leave. And I think the spiritual weapon will kind of waver and then dissipate. I think like whatever anger he had for Donovich, I think kind of leaves with him.
Interesting.
He's just it like dissipated like a storm.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is awkward. Is kind of what Hida is thinking, not saying out loud. But he will offer his condolences, and also he will ask the priest, there's no limit to how long you should or need to grieve, but there are people here who could use your help.
To the hells with them. Where were they when my boy marched off to his doom?
Probably hoping the same thing you were. That everybody would come back.
I see.
I just think that there are a lot of people who need help, and you can provide them that help, and it might not make you feel better, but trying to put some positives back in the world, right?
After their march to Ravenloft, many families would come and pray at my door, at the chapel, would expect me to give them solace in this world when I had none for myself. How is one expected to minister to others when he cannot even save his own soul?
So I don't know anything about Lathander. I don't know anything about how your religion works. But what I do know is that you don't have to do all that, I mean.
How do you mean?
I mean that maybe try and keep the faith stuff out of it for now. Try and solve problems that you can solve. And there are problems to solve. And if more people seem to get better, maybe you can ask for help too. Or just asking for help. I don't know. I can't. I don't know how to.
You speak with words of wisdom, but this is Barovia. There will always be the helpless. And as far as helping others, I am not their lord. I am not their burgomaster. I cannot give...
Actually, you could be.
What?
You could be. And Hida's gonna look back to the others around him because I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. My charisma, not great. I'm not looking at Mordecai. Case is not
Nope.
great either. But so yeah, I'm not actually looking at Mordecai. I'm looking at either Griffin or Matari to
Griffin
maybe help me out here.
Griffin's
'Cause
Here,
offering a
save
very
me.
like please. He's offering a very grimace of a smile. Just sort of like, oh,
Ugh.
you brought this up. Okay.
what I'm just saying that the situation with the Burgerman, Burgermaster, right? Meister?
Meister.
Meister.
Oh, either way.
Um,
Potato.
the you know, right? Your son, sorry, Ismark, his father, right? It's a lot, and Ismark knows that he's not good at what he does.
Ismark believes the people of the town don't like. I'm inclined to agree, though I don't think anyone in this town likes anyone else.
But to be fair, maybe you guys just need a new vision. Maybe somebody who's been hurt by the situation would be the same situation that, all the details, all those things.
Are you saying that Ismark means to quit the town?
He means to protect his sister.
As if there was one thing that boy was good for, it was keeping Irina safe.
Hey, everybody needs a job.
Oh, don't be so hypocritical. You also were giving up on this town.
I make no claims to the contrary.
We're all imperfect. Maybe instead of priestly duties, maybe going into a different duty could help bring something better to the town.
You speak wisdom, I say. But I do not know whether this town will accept all that has happened. It has been so long.
Well, why don't we show them that you know what you're doing?
Even then, I don't think beggars can be choosers here.
We're gonna have a
What?
funeral.
Let's start with one at a time. And Matari will walk up to Donovich, looking down at Doru. Let us start with 2 funerals, shall we?
Yes. That is why you came. The burial of the Burgomaster. And I have also been left with the burial of my boy. Your words
There's
ring
dignity.
true.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, your words ring true. I cannot speak for my future in this town. I cannot speak for the village itself. But I am being called upon to act professionally. That is something that I can do. I beg you, give me one day. One last day with Doru. And then we will see Kolyan laid to rest.
Perhaps.
Will you bury Doru?
Oh, go ahead.
Will you bury Doru tonight?
I will minister to him, perform what rites I can, and pray for his soul. He is no longer fit for the cemetery. Preparations will have to be made.
Why?
He was undead.
How is he unfit?
He was undead.
Those that die and are brought back by unholy means are brought back without the soul they once lived with. His holy soul is already with the Morning Lord. What he is now is a husk. And I think that line of logic might hit strongly for a few people. Whether you all believe that or not, that is what Donovich believes.
Wow,
He
this
is
has
your
all been-
blood. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, while this has all been going on, Mordecai wordlessly gathered back up his manacles, all his arrows, and has secured them back in his bag, just
Being
wordlessly.
efficient.
Yep.
Matari will say, well, he is your responsibility after all, but even a husk deserves some dignity. Bury him in the cemetery. Give him the dignity you can give him in life. Or unlife, however you want to define it.
Roll me persuasion with advantage.
23.
Woo!
You're right.
23 and me.
Sponsored?
I will do what I can for him. And may the Morning Lord and the town forgive me. But you are right. To another matter. Am I right to assume that you all will be accompanying the former burgomaster and his sister out of the town?
I believe
That
so.
part hasn't been entirely discussed.
Got the details
We're
for
working
that one.
on a contract.
A word
Are
of
we?
warning if you do. Ismark is a coward. And I have many more venomous words for the boy, but at his heart he means well. But he will betray the world for Irina. You would do well to remember that.
All right, well, I think anybody would. Really, right? Sisters, you, your son.
I was an only child, so I have no idea.
Siblings on all that. What on all that? Yeah, no, it's what it cut out to be.
Do you require assistance in digging the extra grave? I don't know if you have a grave digger.
I can dig. Kolyan will go into the tomb of his ancestors, and Doru will have a private plot near the one I reserve for myself.
Sure.
Need you any help with preparations?
You are kind to offer. but I must be left to my ministrations.
Understand.
I say let's go. We've disturbed the priest long enough.
Take care of Father Donovan.
He just kind of
And get some
nods
rest.
solemnly.
Hiro will make his way back up and look for Ritter as he kind of exits out because he left before all this. So.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Ritter is outside. He's just waiting politely in the front of the church for everybody. Is everything okay? We still doing the burial thing?
Yes, and the priest is going to bury his son probably sometime tonight or tomorrow morning.
Does he need help? Because burying people at night's kind of a bad idea.
He wants his privacy.
I figured that's kind of why I left.
But, what he doesn't see will not hurt him. So if you want to lurk in the bushes, we can lurk in the bushes and watch. You know him, right? Knew him?
I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I sort of got struck with a memory. We fought together. He was young, didn't really know a whole lot. I felt bad all of a sudden seeing him there, chained with the manacles. I just wanted him to get free and just away. And I thought if I could get him to calm down, I could talk to him, you know? Get him to get his priorities straight, you know, because I'm kind of like a glass full, mug full kind of guy. You know, you can get with that logic, right? And he kind of tries to recover from like his sad thoughts and brings it to terminology of beer because he thinks that Hira will understand that.
Yes, I prefer it to be 100% full.
Yeah, and it became 0% full when a bolt went through it.
That tends to happen in mixed company. But I would be inclined to agree with what was done. But that's...
Yeah. I mean, I don't really even remember anything, so I mean, we could have gotten to like a super big argument, and that's why everything happened. So I can't really be too mad. I don't remember hardly anyone, so it was just one person that I knew. So
Right.
Not a big deal.
Right. Speaking of that, perhaps we can talk later. Maybe back at the Burgerman's house.
You know, it's funny that you talk about burgers because, you know, Burgermeisters and like burgers are actually like a real thing. And I'll totally talk to you about that. And that'll be like a way like nicer thing to talk about. You know, good idea, Hira. Like burgers and beer are actually a really good like combination. And he like totally like takes what you said and like goes like the 180 direction
And
of
we're
what
gonna be,
you were intending.
I suppose everybody else will come up after us talking about burgers.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Does
Sorry,
anybody
I'm
else
just
have?
laughing.
That's funny. No. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say before heading back to the Indinovich residence?
I think Matari is not going to say much, but they're going to mention they're going to go look for a wagon that they can borrow.
Yeah, I will say that if you skulk around the back of the like where the cemetery gate is, you can spy a wagon that is literally designed to cart bodies.
Oh, perfect. They're just going to take that.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Perfect.
Luckily, wheels are easy to pull, even if you don't have a lot of strength.
There you go.
So, yeah, now they'll head back.
Yay.
Okay, everybody's gonna head back to the Burgomaster's mansion.
Yup.
All right, you all make your way back down to the town, through the town square, and when you get to the town square, you actually see that Morgantha, the pie lady, has set up her cart. She is selling pies to some of the residents of the town, some of them whom are looking rather the worse for wear, very kind of twitchy and very, very, like, sallow. But they are making their way up to their cart, they're paying for their pies, and they are greedily devouring them as quick as they can. You get the sense that this might be the only food they've had today. But you see that like Morgantha said, she sets up in the afternoons near the tavern. So if you want to speak with her at any point, you know where to find her. Mad Mary is bumbling about in the town square as well, kind of begging for scraps a bit, but also kind of sobbing sadly, as she is wont to do. And you all continue south unless anybody wants to stop.
I have a question,
Yes.
Michael. I guess as we're walking, can I try and figure out how long it would take me to count all the red X's in the
In the town?
Yes.
Probably the rest of the day.
So there's a lot.
Okay.
I mean, including touring the town for the first time. Not saying that the only thing you're doing is walking every street, but as you kind of make your way around the town, it would probably take a solid most of the day.
Cool. Then Hira is going to slow down, probably trail behind the rest and say, actually, I'm going to count. I will see you tonight.
You're gonna
Count?
You're gonna count?
Yes.
Why?
I'm going to count the houses and see how many people are dead inside. That way, whoever, perhaps the priest, could start maybe managing this.
Like a reverse
Oh.
census.
Are you sure you want to go doing that alone?
Well,
Given the undead portion
well,
of...
we just need to count, and so that way they have a good idea of what they need to do. And I'm probably going to try and draw all of them too.
Oh, cool.
I'm
You're an
not sure.
artist.
No,
I'm really not sure you should stick around long enough to draw them.
I will not the undead, the map of the town.
Oh,
I mean, I thought he was drawing the buildings, not the
I
bodies.
thought he
That's kind
was
of weird.
too.
I assumed
That was
the
gonna be a
people.
lot weird.
Why would he go inside? That would mean he'd have to go inside the house. That's kind of breaking and entering.
Which I don't think we have.
Which
I
I
mean,
would
he
never
does
do.
like to steal.
I would never break and enter.
Well, I mean, you said you wanted to talk later, so maybe I should go with you. to make sure you don't break into, houses
I don't break and enter.
Except
and draw dead bodies.
Suspicious.
He's just going to throw his hands up because, as far as he's concerned, he's telling the truth. So, maybe it's a translation error. That's how he sees it at this point. He says, "It will only take me the day, and I will be back in the Burgermaster's home in the evening."
All right, dude, have fun. You do you.
if we don't see you by, say, sundown, we'll come looking. Like, when the sun starts setting, we'll come look for you.
Do you have a candle or a lantern, light source of any kind?
I have torches.
Okay.
Do you have oil?
I have everything I need.
Okay. Mordecai was, like, about to dig into his backpack.
I have an
there's any
explorer's. I have an
danger-
explorer's pack, so
Okay.
Do you need a snack, anything like that, or?
I have rations.
I can make you some sandwiches.
You know, the water
Literally
bottle.
about to go straight
Some
to get that
Band-Aids.
pie.
Your son.
Did you get your bug spray, honey?
No,
Gotta get his monkey backpack.
He holds his own
for
leash.
Ritter.
And nail clippers.
Don't forget your
It's a panda
toothbrush,
one.
honey.
And
It
your
is a panda.
angry eyes, just in case.
Okay, little guy, have fun. Have fun out in Barovia today. Don't die again.
Okay.
Beware
Writing
the
down
pig.
Akira going to school as a drawing idea.
There's a reason, I promise.
Fair enough.
I know.
There's always a fucking reason with you.
Are you a storyteller or something?
Yeah, what the
God.
fuck?
Rails, Jesse. Diagram. Jesse's off the rails.
I love it. All right. So Hira is going to go out and count the X's in the town. Does anybody else have anything that they want to do? Or do we want to just assume that we go back to the Burgomaster's mansion, explain everything, and say, hey, we're going to do this tomorrow? Or do we want to play that out?
I mean,
What?
I'd go for assume. Before we leave the whole pie situation, though, I'd like to... Have we leveled up in
Oh,
universe
sorry.
yet?
Yes,
Or-
sorry. After the Doru fight, everybody is at level 4.
Okay.
okay.
So does that happen directly after the fight?
Correct.
Okay. Just making sure.
You are level 4 this session.
I would like to cast a spell with one of my remaining spell slots.
Okay.
I only use one in the combo. I'm going to use Detect Poison and Disease.
Got it.
Just as a sort of like... in case the pies are a little bit weird.
Interesting. I just opened the tab.
Because, I don't know, the amount of people looking sallow despite being able to buy food.
They're
is-
tweaking.
Yeah, go ahead and cast Detect... What's the range on... yeah.
Oh, sorry, did that not send in the Roll20 chat?
Maybe it did. Maybe I didn't look at it. It did.
Sorry.
The range is self within 30 feet. I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna make your way pretty close to the cart then.
Yeah, just kind of
Just meandering. Fair enough.
scoping it out.
Yeah, and scoping out the pies. Okay, cool. Does anybody else have anything that they want to do in this town square?
Are we within range of the tavern?
Yeah, you're close.
I want to go find those Vistani to talk to.
Okay. So we're going to we can say that everybody decided, okay, we're gonna go do the town stuff, and then we will meet at the Burgomaster's in the evening. Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that way we don't have to skip talking to Irina and Ismark or anything like that. Everybody's just going to kind of do
Yeah.
their own thing, and then in the morning, we're going to bury a body.
Yep.
Yay.
Great. Okay, so Ritter's going to the tavern. Griffin is going to the cart. Hira is going wherever the fuck Hira's going. Anyone else want to do anything on the town?
Thinking.
And also,
Sam.
Mitari, you do have the cart, so you are welcome to go back to the Burgomaster's mansion if you want to. Like, that's
Mordecai
not off
would-
limits.
Would offer to take it back for Matari or help. You don't have to hold that by yourself.
I'm fine. Thank you. They immediately, like the moment Mordecai, they like say it before Mordecai finishes their
Yeah.
sentence. Just like, I'm fine.
Jesus
Matari,
Christ.
yeah, I think Matari will head back to the siblings.
Got it?
Mordecai's left standing alone in the town square. Panicked. Mordecai. I think Mordecai will stay near Griffin in the pie stand.
Yeah, there's
Like,
also...
maybe sit like act like he's sharpening a knife, which he would sharpen a knife. And like clean off his gear. Just to keep an eye on Morgantha because of the shady shit she said the other day, and the fact that Griffin's a satyr and all that. It leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah, there is a bench in the town, and it's right about here, right butt up against this big building.
Okay, slay.
Very cool. All right, let's go with Griffin. Griffin first, because it's nice and simple. You are detecting poison in and around the cart. This is such a weird thing to try to quantify.
How much poison is poison?
Yeah, right? You do not detect...
What is poison, really?
Okay,
Is
so
it always
like
2 poison?
There's
say
a little
there
bit
was
of
like,
vanilla extract,
Yeah.
and there's alcohol in there, so...
say okay, you had like an apple, right? Like would it ping cyanide in the apple?
Well, honestly, that's the question. You do not detect poison,
Okay.
but the effects that you're seeing on these people are roll me a history check or a medicine check.
Medicine.
Or
This is
nature
a
check.
medicine. Oh, nature's good too.
Let me see, which of those is the best for me? Would you say history, medicine, or
Nature.
nature? Go medicine.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a 5. So,
Things
Yeah.
can poison you.
I mean, yeah. There's the people appear to be hungry, and they're eating the pies fucking real quick because they're hungry about it.
all right, everything seems hunky-dory to me.
Hello there, my dear. Are you come to sample the wares?
Oh, yeah, maybe. How much?
Sorry, that got me.
Sorry, was that the end of the sentence?
Yeah, how much?
How much? She says, I give them out for 6 silver apiece.
Oh, she gives them out for 6 silver apiece.
Oh,
Okay, fucking Samaritan.
Okay, I saw that. Fucking, I see you.
Jesus.
Is that?
That's pretty fucking expensive, honestly.
Yeah.
That's about a half a gold.
Yeah, because my DM instinct was like, that's a little high over, but maybe it's economy.
Yeah, they're big pies. You know,
Inflation.
they're a meal.
That's
It's a ritzy meal, but it's a meal. You get the sense that there's a supply and demand situation happening here.
gotcha. On second thought, that's maybe a little too pricey for my tastes.
Oh dear. What? I'll tell you what. If you'd really like to try, the first one's free.
Oh, no. What?
Oh, I insist.
That's how she got me.
Ritter appears. Oh yeah, because you're walking into the tavern anyways.
He says as he walks by.
She scowls a little at you.
He'll wink
Try
at her.
not to read too much into that. Yeah, what the hell? I'll take one.
Oh, glorious! And she passes you a piping hot pie in a wrapper. Do you want to take a bite?
Now, me as a player,
Yeah.
It's a rite of passage, all right? It's a rite of passage. Someone's got to eat the pie.
You
as a
gotta
player,
do it.
I'd say hell no. But as Griffin, it's a free pie.
It's a free pie. They smell
I'm gonna
good.
take a bite.
Yeah.
Smells good.
It's actually really good.
She kind of like resists the urge to say something mean because that's a compliment. Yeah, you take a bite and it is delicious. First of all, very very kind of meaty. Lots of like potato corn. Very healthy crops, if that sounds like a real thing.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that this land appears to be incredibly barren, there's actual fresh vegetables inside of this.
Like well nourished.
Yeah, exactly. And it tastes delicious. Do you keep eating? I love asking these kind of questions.
This is so complicated. This is so fucking complicated.
When was the last time Griffin ate?
Probably last night.
Yeah. So I'm assuming she just kind of it's a free
good
pie.
It's a good pie. Yeah, you
There's no poison or disease in
you
it.
detected nothing.
You're fine.
You're fine.
She's
You're
fine.
fucking fine.
So do you take another bite?
Yeah.
And Michael, can I use detect magic?
Yeah, go ahead. As you're walking by, you detect no magic.
I mean, she's good.
She's good. She's
It's
good
just
at what
black
she
tar
does.
heroin.
Yeah. She
It's
says.
the pure shit.
She says, "Oh, you really enjoy it then, do you?"
Yeah, sorry. I didn't eat since yesterday, so
Oh dear. Please, well, here. Listen, if you enjoy that one so much, you can take another for the road.
oh stop it. No, I couldn't. I don't wanna-
All right, dear. All right,
gotta
I
make
won't
money.
prevail upon you. But I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. It's very, very nutritious, and it does, I like to think, help out the folks in town a bit.
Oh yeah, they all seem pretty eager to dig in. Not the only one.
Do you want to know my secret?
Mordecai perks up.
Sure.
There's just the wee, tiny bit of psilocybin.
Like from mushrooms.
Yes, a very special breed. It helps people take the edge off a bit. Not in that one, of course. I mean in some of the more specialty pies.
And Mordecai roll an insight check
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
on that fucking statement. Oh, goddammit, wrong browser. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, you get the sense that she is saying that she does also sell, for lack of a better term, edibles.
The dealer. But she's not. There aren't shrooms in the one Griffin ate.
No, like she's not drugging Griffin, no.
Okay.
Now I understand why you said what counts as poison.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Griffin's not an arc.
Fair enough.
Who's there to narc to anyway?
Exactly.
Well, if I'm ever in the market for any, I'll let you know. But this is
Oh.
very good. You make these yourself.
I do. You're a good girl, aren't you? Very straight and narrow, I can tell.
I try.
Well, listen. This place is a bit of a rough place. Some people need their escape. For some people, it's all they have. So if you ever find yourself in dire need of, well, getting away, you know where to find me.
I will certainly keep in touch.
I should also say, I'm not here every single day. I come for a few of the weekdays, and when I sell out of pies, I go back to my shop. If you do want to come visit us on the road, we are just south of Valaki.
South of Valaki. All right, I'll write that down.
Yes, me and my daughters. We make the pies in, well, it's an old flour mill, I suppose you could say. Repurposed, abandoned when we found it, but the windmill still works wonders.
Hey, if it ain't broke.
If it ain't broke. I like that. Did you come up with that yourself?
My parents say it all the time. I'm not entirely sure where it came from.
Fair enough, lass. Well, thank you so much, and if you do want to take another pie for the road, or perhaps a special one, you just come back and see me, alright?
Sure.
That's a girl.
Morgantha, was it?
Morgantha, and you're Griffin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Did she tell her that?
I
I think so, right?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember.
She says it either way.
I, as Klaus, don't remember, so Griffin probably also doesn't.
Great.
That's not scary at all.
Yeah, and she pats you on your head, and she sends you on your way.
Yeah. She just prance away.
Yeah.
Free pie.
Free pie. Next up, we're gonna go with Ritter in the Tavern. Ritter in the Tavern. What are you doing? You're looking
Yes.
for those Vistani women.
Yes, I would like to find the Vistani women if they are there.
They
If
are.
not, oh, okay, great.
They
Awesome.
absolutely are. They're still at the same table that they were before. You get the sense that is like their table.
Excellent. I would like to see if A, they notice me upon walking in, B, if they're giving me the same terrible scowls, and C, I kind of want to see if I can get a drink at the bar and listen in first. Because
Understood.
I want to know why they hate. Like Ritter now understands that there was this thing that happened, and he wants to understand if there's more now to the story, and if not, maybe he can engage with these people and see if he can undo the damage like he did with Ismark.
Fair enough. You're trying to see why they hate you or why people hate them.
Por qué no los dos? He's
enough.
just listening to see what he can hear
He's
right
just
now.
vibing. Got it.
Yeah. So a perception check would be to see what he can find.
Go ahead.
If anything, why can I not find perception? Because I'm not proficient in it. Well, let's
that's a
take the advantage
19.
off. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
You make your way into the bar. The three women do notice you, but don't really seem to mind you as much as, say, Morgantha did. They know that you're just kind of an odd duck. They don't dislike you as much as they dislike Hira, for
Okay.
example. But you are able to make your way up to the bar, and the squat little man behind the bar just kind of doesn't look up from his glass and goes, 3 copper.
Do I have 3 copper?
That's a great question.
You're gonna have the same thing that fucking Hina did. Struggle with making change.
That is an interesting question. I'm gonna say you have like exactly 7 copper.
Okay.
Because I think
He
that
put-
after dying a couple of times, I think somebody must have gone over your corpse.
That's fine. That's whatever. He'll put 7 copper down on the table, on the bar, and he'll
3 copper.
7 copper, and you tell me what you talked about with the mean guy with the white hair streak last night. That's it. You just talk with me.
Give beer for 3 copper.
And you talk with me
I am talking
about the guy with the weird white streak in his hair last night.
what we
For
talk.
7 copper, and he puts it down on the bar, and he spaces it out.
He goes to count, and he slides 3 toward himself, and say, "I get you beer. You take 4 for back." Roll me an insight check.
Yes. 10.
10. This guy is not being difficult on purpose.
Yeah.
You get the sense that there is something off about him.
Yeah, I think he understands that, and I don't think he pushes it any further.
Yeah. And that's also not me trying to be difficult. That is, there is something up with this guy. You just can't
Yeah.
quite grok what.
That's totally chill. He just kind of he sighs helplessly, and he takes his change. And instead, he'll kind of turn, and he waits for his drink, and he looks back towards the rest of the tavern. And he's clocking more now that the vibes are a little bit different, and that there was more hatred towards Hira than perhaps himself.
That's because I have a bad reputation.
You do have a bad reputation.
For fucking more
but once
reasons
his-
than one.
Yeah, but once the drink does arrive, he'll slowly jingle his way over to the girls, and again he's gonna try to see if he can gauge their vibes first, because he's realizing that his previous hello
Yeah.
it hasn't worked with the party, so now he's being sheepish a little bit. So he wants to get a vibe on them first before he
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me another insight check. I'll give you advantage because of your high perception roll.
Okay. Wow.
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Double
Whoa.
crit, so intense.
Double crit. Fucking hell, what does it
His
mean?
brain explodes.
Yeah.
What does he remember?
You, you know what, actually.
What do you remember?
Brumber, what do you see?
I'll add. Wait, no. I'm even gonna add. Oh wait, no. It's a crit, so it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. 25 is 25. I
Yeah.
rarely set a DC higher than 25. You get the sense that these women are about to be a little bit annoyed that somebody is coming up to them, period. But intrigued enough that it's you, of all people, who've kind
He
of only been...
jingles.
Yeah, I'll be a little jingly boy, who's kind of been a bit of an oddity around town, but now seems to have an actual purpose coming to them. With that 25 insight, you get the vibe from everybody else that they respect them pretty immensely. These 3 women who run the tavern, because, I mean, it's a tavern. They all desperately need a tavern. So they also don't want to piss off the people who run the damn thing. But you can tell that these 3 women own this tavern, and it's it's a hard fought respect that they command, because the natural inclination for anyone in Barovia is to be wary and afraid of the Vistani.
Mm-hmm.
They see you coming up sheepishly and not confrontationally, and that is incredibly intriguing to them. I will let this insight roll into the conversation, but what do you say to them?
Okay. He'll notice that, and I think that he tries to find a reason to make conversation, and he fumbles through all of his jingle jangles, and through all of his jingle jangles, he finds his holy symbol. I don't know what his holy symbol is.
Interesting. Your holy
And
symbol, I can say what it is.
okay. But
Go ahead.
regardless of what it is, he's going to present it to them, if anything, and he'll say,
Ladies, look, you have a grasp on this place. In fact, you seem to own this place, and you know a whole lot more than me.
and he'll kind of not sit down. He's kind of giving like the table like curve like a little bit of a wide berth. Like I imagine like the three of them are kind of sitting on one curve and he's sitting on the other curve. Super judgmental, but it's kind of like interesting imagery.
I was imagining Jurassic Park, Chris Pratt distance from the three velociraptors.
He's slightly crouched down. He's holding out the holy symbol. No, it's like attached to like all of his jingle jangles.
Yep.
I imagine. And he'll say,
Everyone seems to kind of be wary of you guys, but I want to know more because I don't really remember a whole lot. So if you could tell me what you know about this, that'd be great. And maybe we could talk and you can tell me more about your guys, more about yourselves.
and he kind of like closes one eye and kind of like holds out the holy symbol.
One of them reaches up to grab the holy symbol and takes a look at it and looks back up at you and says, "You don't remember very much, you say?"
No.
Huh. She hands it back to you and she says, "Well, that I do not know, but if it is information that you need, you have come to the right place. If you are truly ignorant, as you say, you really don't know why people fear us, do you?"
Well, I know now based on what I've been told, but I figured it'd be better to get it from the Vistani's mouth.
The ladies kind of chuckle to themselves, and will invite you to sit.
Okay.
Um,
Slight jingle noises as he sits
yeah,
down.
exactly. They will introduce themselves as Alenka, Mirabel, and Sorvia. They
Okay.
are the three owners. They are sisters. And they will tell basically the story that when they arrived in the village, this tavern was all but derelict, and they took it upon themselves to restore it to working order. And through that kind of like, they might not be the legal owners, but everybody respects them as like the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they hang out most days. They say that a lot of people are very wary of them because of quote unquote the old legends.
Right.
And the old legends are that when Strahd was first conquering the land that would become known as Barovia, that the Vistani harbored him and helped him and assisted with his campaign against the natives of the land, and that therefore they are all his minions and allies and his spies, which they say is not necessarily true.
Right.
I mean, yeah, everyone can, be lumped into something, but it doesn't mean like everyone's like a part of it.
Yes, of course, you understand.
I mean, yeah, I totally get that. Like, not everyone can be a part of it. It's just a matter of like figuring out like who's who. How would you guys feel about something that happened up at the church? Considering you guys seem to be the ones in control of everything. And Ritter can go into a brief montage about what happened with Dor.
Okay.
And I think what Ritter ultimately wants to kind of try to achieve here is that the source of whatever bad here that could have potentially been here is gone, and that there's an opportunity to make things stronger within the town to make it safer.
Got it.
It's just that people are not talking, and Dorovich is not okay. And it's clear why people aren't talking to the Vistani either, or these three sisters, let alone why Ismark wouldn't talk to these three sisters either. So I think he would kind of go over that and see how the sisters feel about the killed vampire spawn.
That poor man. It was so foolish for all of them to go off those years ago. And it seems that we are still reaping the rewards of what they've sown. Well, I hope that that child is at peace.
Yeah. It's well, I don't that's bad and unfortunate and stuff, but at least the Burgermeister is going to be buried now, and that's going to be taken care of. Would you guys ever considered talking to each other? Because Ismark doesn't really want the job or anything like that. He's actually considering relocating and stuff like that to Valaki, because it's probably there's more people there, I think.
Valaki. She spits on the ground.
Oh, you don't like Valaki?
It is not so much that, it is... There is a community of our people that unfortunately feed into negative stereotypes, and they live very near to Valaki itself. So much so that, Vistani are not allowed in the town at all. This is one of the reasons that we broke off to come here.
Okay, that's weird.
Not as weird as you may think, boy. We are used to it.
Doesn't make it right.
And Ritter kind of like leans back and kind of taps his chin, and he goes,
What if I made a deal with you guys?
and he gets like a weird like sparkle in his eyes. He's like,
What if I made it that Valaki allowed it so that all Vistani can go there? If you guys help Ismark and Irina and us get there.
You are very cute, you know?
No, I haven't looked in a mirror in a really long time, actually.
Listen, my people have, certain members of my people have sworn off of that place, and we say good riddance to it. We are thought to be the crazy ones of our family because we decided to settle down in this village Our people are much more happy on the road. But if you do truly mean to make your way to Vallaki, then there may be something we can do to help.
Oh?
There is a camp not too far down the road, about halfway between here and Vallaki itself, down at the Serpul. There is a tribe of our people there. They are the ones that we have come from. And a great elder of the Vistani, Madame Eva, resides there.
Madam Eva. Okay.
That will be a safe place for you to camp on the road. And perhaps if you are feeling up to it, you can have your fortunes read by the Madam herself.
Ritter's eyes get really wide at that.
He's like palm reading?
Not the palm, the cards.
I like the cards. I don't even remember the last time I had my cards read. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. What can I... do you want alcohol?
Sweetheart, we own the alcohol.
Right, I forgot about that. Well, I'm still gonna try the thing with Vallaki.
And he stands up from his chair.
What
And
is
he's like-
your name, Jingly Boy?
Ritter.
Ritter. We will speak with Donovich, perhaps on the morrow. Very interesting things come to this village.
Hopefully not all bad. You ladies have a good night.
They just kind of like raise their glasses to you for a moment.
He also goes to raise his glass and then realizes that he doesn't have it in his hand, and then goes to grab it, and then does it again.
They just kind of giggle to themselves.
Yeah, and then it's very
What a
silly.
flirt.
And then end scene.
Very nice. I like it.
Good.
You got one other thing from that, which is
Oh, go.
the description of your holy symbol.
Yes, give me that, please.
Your holy symbol, don't go looking this up, or unless you know it, keep it to yourself.
Okay.
Is a pair of eyes encircled by 7 stars.
I do know what that is.
Interesting. That is your holy symbol.
Cool, awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes, thank you. Let's move on to Mordecai. Is Mordecai with us?
Yeah, sorry. As soon as I sat forward more, my headphones fell off my head.
Oh, sick,
It's
dude.
very, very timely.
All right. Well, Mordecai, you are sitting on this bench, kind of keeping an eye on Griffin, sharpening a knife, cleaning your boots, just kind of doing Aragorn things. And as you kind of notice that Griffin is pretty much safe, pretty much fine. Excuse me. You hear a voice behind you that says, "You want to use my bench? You are here to pay, yes?"
What? I'm sorry. And he'll kind of stop what he was doing and turn around.
A very squat, square-shaped man, with like a horrible balding like Bozo the Clown haircut,
Oh God.
looks at you from the stoop and says, "The bench is not for free. The bench is for customer only."
Sorry. New to the area, and Mordecai will kind of just scoot forward and then plant his ass on the ground.
No. Floor in front of bench is part of property.
He'll put his hands up, pack his stuff away just enough to move, and then scoot further down.
He's watching you kind of pack your stuff away as he's leaning on like the banister of his stairs. He says, "You say you are new to area, yes?
Oh God, don't try to sell me some. Yes.
Adventuring type, yes. I see your bow.
Yes.
You need arrows, yes? For hunting?
He goes to count. Do you do the arrow recovery thing?
We do arrow recovery, yes.
So were any of them broken? I don't remember how many I fucking shot.
You definitely lost one because I don't think it would be
Okay.
couth for you to take it out of Doru's skull.
Oh yeah. I
Could
mean,
you imagine?
Yeah,
that'd be
awful.
fucked. Mordecai wouldn't do that. Mordecai would do a lot of things, but not that. You know, I'm actually good up right now, but you sell them?
I sell all kind of thing. You need rope, you need hunting trap, you need maybe holy water.
I'm actually out of holy water.
We make a
How m-
deal, perhaps. Yes, you come to Bildrath.
He'll kind of look around the town square, like glance over at Griffin, and then
Who's just
everybody
eating a
else is
pie.
gone. So Mordecai shrugs and, oh, good, excuse me, sorry. And he'll shove all his shit in his bag, and with a sigh, he'll head over to where where he's hanging out of the doorway on the stoop.
So, come in. We talk business, yes?
Sure.
You hear a crashing from inside, and the man kind of turns and shouts, "Periwinkle! You watch yourself with those boxes!"
Sorry. I love Periwinkle my whole life. I'm entirely Taylor. I love him. I'll die for him. Anyways.
You will.
Woo!
Oh my god.
Yeah, you go inside, and you see a sparsely decorated, heavy curtained, but very large general store known as Bildrath's Mercantile. As you take a look around, you see all of the adventuring gear that is here has been marked with prices. It is rather dusty. It looks a little bit like an oddities shop more than anything. But there is some choice things that you can use: hunting traps, holy water, for example. You see there's a door into the back where there's a little bit of dust kind of flowing through from whatever the fuck happened backstage there. But yeah, you make yourself you make your way inside, and Bildrath will say, "Take a look around. You get whatever you want. You bring it up to me. Yes."
Sure, yeah.
Do you actually want to do any shopping?
Mordecai could use some more holy water.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how much money I have.
You should have, as a ranger, I think
Whatever
it's,
the starting
yeah,
equipment.
I think it's 10 gold.
Is. Yeah.
Okay, swag. Cause excuse me, I'm so sorry. Cannot fucking, or did not fucking put it on there. But yeah, he's definitely after some holy water. Is there any sort of like blessed rope? Anything else in that category?
So
You have to make your own.
The rope was woven with Jesus hairs.
Jesus Christ. Literally. But as you kind of look around, you will see, per the adventure, nothing in here worth more than 25 gold pieces, as per the adventuring equipment. However, you've been in stores like this before. You have, you know, seen wares and whatever, and bought arrows and traps and shit like that. You see a single flask of holy water up on the shelf behind the counter, that is marked for 250 gold pieces.
I'm assuming the holy water's so much because he'll kind of look around. There's really nobody to bless any, huh?
So whatever you say.
Oh, okay.
If you take a look around and you see like a hunting trap, for example, let me pull up a hunting trap from the 5e manual here. Should cost 3 gold. It is set here for 70.
Mordecai just keeps looking around.
The same thing. You just see everything is marked up so astronomically expensively that it would be impossible for anything to get sold here.
He will turn to Bildraff. So you see much business these days?
Oh yes, I see plenty. Arrows, hunting traps, holy symbols. We are down to 1 flask of holy water.
Yeah, I noticed.
Barovia, very rich village once upon a time. Many mansions, yes?
I'll have to believe you on that. They look more like shacks these days.
These days it is what it is, but desperate people, you want it badly enough, you pay for it.
He'll kind of, what's it called? Like, not, I guess purse your lips. Like his mouth is drawn into a tight line. Sure. But I don't think anybody has 250 gold pieces for 1 flask of holy water. Which, I mean, again, supply demand, I get that, but a trap? Is the blacksmith dead?
Oh yes, not many traps left in Barovia. He almost has a little bit of a glee on his face when he says that.
Mordecai will narrow his eyes at that. So you're seeing all of this as a business venture, huh?
What? What else am I meant to do? Do you see other general store here?
No.
I have to make my living.
Yeah, you do. He's having a lot of trouble hating him for it.
Fair.
But he still doesn't like it.
Yeah. I need to keep a roof over my head, hunters for to go out and get food. I have to keep a periwinkle fed. Boy, get out here and greet our guest. He kind of shouts to the back. And as you see this hulking figure turn the corner, massive person that is wearing like these really unkempt coveralls. He just kind of stands there and looks at you and gives like a little bit of a nod with like a slight wide-eyed like, I've never seen this person before.
Mordecai will give a small wave.
He gives a wave back. That's enough, Periwimple. Get back to the boxes. And Periwimple will, ooh, and then kind of turn and toddle back off.
But I'm sure it's nice to have someone that's. He'll make sort of like a muscles gesture with one of his arms. Not a very like full-hearted one. It's very half-hearted.
Sure.
Someone so around, especially with merchandise and all that. But you mentioned hunters and hunting. Are you looking for somebody to maybe bring meat around occasionally?
You're looking to work with Bildrath.
I might as well make the most of this.
Yes, I can pay gold for wolf meat. I say 3 gold for pelt, 10 gold for butcher.
He'll nod. He'll nod. Okay. I can do that.
Very little else animal out there. Very much just wolf.
Yeah. I've never had wolf meat before.
It's very, very tough. Very stringy. Very bad. But very protein.
He'll make a little bit of the barest kind of a stink face. I think I'll take your word on it. But if I end up with any, I will bring it your way. Because you've got quite the giant to feed.
Yes, yes, and you bring it straight to me. You do not bring it to those brujas that live in the tavern, yes? They get their meat from me. I get my meat from Hunter. That is the deal.
I won't deny a supply chain. Everybody's got to make ends meet, right?
Very good.
Well, pleasure doing future business with you, Bildra.
Yes, 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 yes. Now, if you buy nothing, you go.
Yeah. Hey, well, if I hunt things for you, then I get gold that will eventually go back into your pocket because I'll be
Yes.
buying things from you.
That is what
Fun.
they all need to know.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He'll kind of, as he goes to leave, he'll try to catch another glimpse at Periwimple.
Yeah, who is kind of like leering from around the corner, trying to catch your eye, and the moment that he catches your eye, he like ducks away really quickly. Roll me an insight check.
Yes. No. That is not the button. No. Can I use a point of inspiration?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that 20 insight, you can tell Periwimple is incredibly intrigued by new people, but very, very shy. But based on the few momentary interactions you have, you get the sense that Periwimple might just be like a big kid. That he might be a little bit, for lack of a better term, simple. Bless his little heart.
He's like Sweet Pea.
He honestly, yeah, he's
In
like Sweet
Adventure
Pea from Adventure
Time.
Time.
And I fucking love Sweet Pea! Ah!
He's just a big teddy bear.
I love this kid and I would die for him. Me, IRL.
We already had some pies.
Yeah,
Are we getting sweet pea too?
I know.
Oh my god! Where's the pig?
The pig is in the pie, I think.
No! Tree trunks batted.
All right.
Wait, are we talking about the pigs in the pigsty?
No.
No.
Adventure Time.
Oh, come join your friends.
That's apples.
It is apples.
It is apples.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. This whole session's shot now.
Sorry. Beefed it.
Fucking idiot.
You know me.
Start
You appled it.
Ah!
All right. That is Mordecai. We are gonna move to Hira. Hira, what the hell are you doing?
Are you sure you want to come to me?
All right, we're gonna go to Matari. No, we're gonna go to Hira. We're gonna see what the fuck you're doing.
Oh, okay. So you're finally curious.
Yeah. What do you want?
I have an explorer's pack. I have a penchant for trying to figure out things and making maps out of it. Like trying to figure out what things look like
Okay.
from like a top-down perspective, like the map that we're looking at right now.
Fair enough.
And I don't want it to this detail, like of the map that we're looking down right now, right?
Yeah.
But I want it enough to say like house here, road here,
Right.
like and try and be able to find all the X's because he wants to figure out how much of this town is actually condemned and how much of it is like some of these X's, are they premature X's?
Right. Got it. Interesting.
Because I feel like the difference between X and no X might be kind of very overly stated.
I gotcha. Excuse me. Good Lord. Altogether, if you spend your entire day doing it,
Yes.
you count no fewer than 27 X's on 27 houses.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them fresher than others. What do you want to do in regards to the fresher X's?
See if people can respond in some way.
Okay. Go ahead.
I want to see if, because there's not enough time to basically see if everybody's actually dead.
Right.
But he's trying to see for like signs of life
Got
in
it.
the most recent of ways. Like, because if he can figure out the freshness of a paint, he can figure out the freshness of like how long somebody has actually walked out here
Got
and
it.
done like, I don't know, like a courtesy check.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
We'll say that you are at the far northeast of the town.
You're better than me.
Okay. Oof. I'm going to use inspiration.
Go ahead.
I really want to figure this out.
Okay. Excuse me. Let me draw this in real quick.
I'm sorry I'm asking for something complicated.
It's not complicated. Boop. Boop. That's the house that you're at. I will draw the other X's later.
Okay.
But you can see it's pretty fresh. That it maybe has been done in the last few days or so. But as you kind of make your way up to the door, or up to the house itself, you see through the window, very similar to what Ritter saw, that there's just kind of like a nascent darkness in this house, like an odd darkness. But you can, in fact, see a few figures moving around inside.
Okay. My impulse is telling me that he wants to speak out to the figures
Okay.
and ask them if they are alive.
You just do that from outside?
Yes?
Okay. Roll me a, this would be technically a persuasion. It's just a charisma-based roll.
Okay. We're just gonna do persuasion. 16.
Yeah, you shout that out, "Are you alive?" And the shuffling stops for a moment as, you see somebody come to the window. They don't say anything or do anything right yet, but they do come to the window, and you can see the curtains shuffle a bit as if they're peeking out, but you can't see them. It is that weirdly dark in here. Like, it's daytime. There should be sunlight coming in through the window, but there's not.
Well, that's weird. He's going to ask it again. Are you alive?
A hand comes up to the window and points toward the door, and then makes a little X motion.
That doesn't answer my question, though. Is there something magical about the X?
But based on what Griffin found out,
Yeah,
possibly.
can you remind me? Yeah.
Excuse me. It's a warding sigil that is meant to keep bad things in, or away. It is to keep evil at bay. But there's nothing else inherently magical about it. There's a little bit of consecration, but not like an actual spell was cast.
Okay. So they can come out, can't they?
Allegedly, yeah.
Can you? He's gonna point towards the door, and gesture with his hands like, "Can you come out?"
The finger on the window just like marks an X again, really frantically.
Oh, impulse. Settle down. I am a thinking person right now. Not the impulsive one. Hida is based on okay. There are people in here though.
Yep.
Even when there's an X, there are people in here. That's the only thing I know for sure at this point. People who can communicate to me.
At least in this house.
At least in this house. Okay, he's going to make note. He's going to try and make note and see when it gets maybe a little crazy. I don't know how to describe it. Like when it gets beyond the ability to communicate, he's going to stop.
Yeah.
He wants to see the progression of this disease.
Gotcha. So you're just going to like watch for the day?
Yeah, at that point, once he figures out, like where all the X's are, he's going to figure out like what's the worst of this.
Got it. Okay, you figured out where the X's are. You're moving around town. Let's go down to the southeast here. You find another marked house, and a much older marked house that is at this point the X on the door is barely visible because of all the boards that have been nailed to the door to keep things in. Same with the windows are all boarded up as well, to the point where you can't even see inside if you wanted to, but you can smell the stench of death. What do you want to do?
Go to Mad Mary's house.
Oh, Christ. You go to Mad Mary's house. We'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Mitari, you make your way back to the Burgomaster's mansion with the cart in hand. What are you doing?
So when they arrive, they park it up front. They're gonna precipitation themselves so they aren't bloody and sweaty anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think they'll just knock on the door, ready to, I guess, have a short rest and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can absolutely take a short rest because you're a funny warlock and that actually matters to you.
Haha.
You can roll your hit dice if you would like to as well, but that's up to you. You knock on the door. The chain catches, but Ismark very quickly unlocks all of his locks and lets you inside and says, "It is just you that's come back? What has happened?"
Mitari holds a hand. Everything's fine. The rest decided to go explore your lovely town. I decided to come back after and they gesture to the cart outside to transport your father.
So he's going to do it then?
Yes. It was a bit more eventful than I thought, but...
How do you mean?
It will happen. Matari thinks for a moment and decides, well, he had his son chained up in the basement,
Oh,
and we happened to
gods.
hear him screaming, and things happened. And yeah, honestly, we're just calling things even right now. So you'll have a funeral in the morning.
Well, regardless of what happened, I can't believe you managed to actually get through to him. Thank you. Thank you. Irina, did you hear that? We're going to bury father in the morning. Irina comes to the door as well and is, you are welcome to come in also.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, you go inside, you're
Yeah,
having your
please.
short rest while you guys are talking. And Ismark says, I can't tell you how much this means to us. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you have done.
It's what's the word? It's no trouble. Everyone deserves to, have an Indian death. Uh,
Yes, of course.
I think Matari will look to her and it's like, and how are you doing, my dear?
Oh, I'm fine. It is hard, but I'm glad that father is going to be put to his rest soon. Ismark was telling me about
Good.
his plan. She says with a little bit of venom in her voice, do you really mean to quit the town? Are all of you going together? What is this meant to be?
Well, I'm not one to get involved in local politics. I travel too much to. They're kind of like talking with their clawed hand a little bit while they're doing this.
Mm,
Um, they, but it seems that the others have started setting up your replacement as Mark, so you should be able to leave with a little less guilt on your shoulders.
yes, good. Good. That is what this town needs. Someone else to take the reins. Yes, but Ismark, this is our home. What, are we meant to just leave everything here and flee to Valaki because you believe that it'll be better, safer? Irina, please. We have discussed this. It is the only way.
Ismark, have you thought about what's going to happen if it doesn't work?
What do you mean if it doesn't work?
Well, if this devil is as strong as you say, what's to say Wallaki is any safer?
It must be safer. It has palisades, strong and tall. It has town guards. The village is thriving. If anything else, it would be a better life than this barren place.
Uh, the grass is always greener on the other side. I don't know. I suppose I just think you should consider a backup plan just in case.
With a backup plan, if Valaki does not work, we will go to Kresk.
And then if Crest doesn't work,
If Kresk has fallen, then we are all already dead. We just don't know it yet.
Matari gives like a shrug. Fair enough, fair enough. I don't mean to needle you. It's just one of those. Hope can be a cruel little thing sometimes. So
Mistake not my plans for hope. I know more than many that hope is a fleeting and childish thing. I'm going to take her somewhere safer. Yes, Irina, I am going to take you somewhere safer. That we can be...
How do you... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
How do you feel about this, Irina?
What does it matter? My decision has been made for me, it seems.
I want to hear it anyway. I've heard a lot from your brother. And he kind of gets like a little... I've heard a lot from Ismark here. I would like to hear from you.
Well, I agree with you, Mitari. I don't see how this is any better than... Vallaki is not better than this village, is not better than Kresk, is not... If Strahd really is the devil that Ismark and everyone says that he is, then nowhere is safe from him. So we might as well stay home and try to make this place better. Ismark just kind of shakes his head, puts his head in his hands.
Batari is quiet for a moment, and they think, perhaps there is a compromise for you. I feel that just moving from town to town in this situation might be a bit moot, but Ritter and the others seem pretty set on going after the devil again. So perhaps we travel not for hiding, but just perhaps there's clues. Perhaps there's things to learn.
What, you
To get stronger, maybe?
truly mean to take on Strahd? After what happened years ago, there are so few of us.
Well, I wasn't here, so...
Fucker.
Yeah, I was not here, so I have no true... I speak as simply an outsider, so you can take my word how it is. But... life is kind of... what's the word? It's fragile, but also persistent. And no matter what, I imagine no matter how powerful this guy is, I imagine there's eventually something will slip through. It's better than just wasting away, isn't it?
Yes, Ismark, that's what I've been saying. If this truly is the monster that you make him out to be, then we won't be safe until he's gone. Irina, we have tried this before. It did not work then. I failed to see how it will work now, but we have to try, Ismark. If we are going to try, Mitari, if what you are saying is that we go to learn, to try to gather people, to... then perhaps, Ismark, I can see myself going to Vallaki. If we go to help our people, Irina, I do not know. Mitari, you truly believe that there is a way to win?
It's better than... I don't work in guarantees. I work in possibilities. And I think you lose your possibilities die the moment you stop looking. Ismark, I've watched you for a few hours, And it seems, from my opinion, you find your survival to be a mark of shame. I think it's proof, like a second chance, a show that you're strong enough to do it again.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okie dokie. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Ooh, very good.
Oh, Christ.
Oh my god.
Well,
What you
I got 13.
You got a 13.
That you only meant well. Sorry.
You got a 13. Ismark says, I can't bring myself to believe in such things as fate and second chances. But if it means that we will get Irina somewhere safer, then fine. Do what you need to do, but know that my only allegiance is to Irina and to keeping her safe. Irina kind of shakes her head a little bit at that, but...
Matari will kind of give a nod, and then they'll kind of snap it. And we can just, like, kind of hand wave this, but
Sure.
Matari will ask Irina if she'd be willing to show them their garden outside. I imagine, like, there's grounds here that have gardens.
Yeah, absolutely. Irina will do that. She will stand and kind of leave Ismark to his contemplation. And if you would like to, you are able to show, or Irina is able to show you around, and she knows what you're doing, and he knows what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's appreciated nonetheless.
Yeah, the goal is to get her away from Ismark a little bit, and maybe schmooze a little bit.
Fair enough. Do you want to play that out, or do you want to just like you are taking time to get to know Irina?
I don't mind playing it out.
Yeah, sure.
It depends on.
No, you go out to the gardens, and Irina says,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think they'll just try and, what's the word? Make small talk in the sense of anything other than her dead father
Right.
and her brother. So it's like, so you must have, what do you do while cooped up all day? You know, do you read? Are you a painter? You know, they'll like see it. That's pretty much the question.
Yeah. She'll make mention of the fact that father had a rather large library for the size of the house, so she will read. Eventually, she has tried to learn to sew, but it never really caught on for her. She's not really much for domesticity, as it were. She said that she's always as you kind of talk to her a little bit more, and as you kind of like get to break down a couple more of those barriers, she does make mention of the fact that every once in a while she will take one of Ismark's swords and practice some forms and some movements, but she doesn't really have much any formal training, so it's kind of more just flailing around with a stick.
We'll have to get you, we'll have to find you a teacher. Maybe, does Mordecai have a short sword?
Great question.
Or
I
is
think
that-
so.
Okay, well maybe we can get Mordecai to show
he does.
you some of the ropes. Unfortunately, what little I know is a much smaller knife.
Yes. I think I'd rather like to not get quite too close.
You could always do a bow, but it's not quite as fun as throwing a stick or a sword at people.
But you're a fighter. You're all warriors from beyond the mists. Surely you don't need someone like me trying to learn in the background.
No, because, if you can defend yourself, that's less than we have to worry about. And we all start somewhere. I wasn't always able to throw spells and all, I started when I was 16, so and it was never too late.
I suppose not. Well, maybe we can figure something out on the road. We're
Yes,
really
there'll
leaving,
be-
aren't we?
If you want.
I've never known life outside this village ever since Father found me. But even before that, I don't remember much.
But you remembered him finding you?
Yes, I was lost in the Svalage woods. He and a few hunters came across me while they were out hunting wolves. I shudder to think what would have happened if they hadn't found me in time, but he took me home and I've been here ever since.
I'm sure some of you, there's some clues to you out there. But it's a large world out there.
I've never really been that curious.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all right. You say that. She says, I've never really been that curious, to be honest, but perhaps.
Either way, it's a large world out there. Plenty to see.
Thank you, Mitari, for talking some sense into his mark. He'll come around eventually.
In time, but at least his heart's in the right place.
I hope so. Sometimes I worry, but I know that he only wants the best for me.
You'll... As long as he doesn't smother you. That's...
That's a bit too much to ask, I'm afraid, but yes.
Well, in the meantime, I can show you how to use my quarterstaff. Maybe you can beat some sense into him.
I like that. Not the beating part, of course, but...
Sure. Yeah. And they'll, I think we can, what's the word? If you want, we can fade out,
Yeah,
and
yeah, of
Atari will,
course.
show her some basic
movements.
Because they're not much of a fighter. Yeah, they're not much of a fighter themselves, but they can use the quarterstaff a little bit.
Yeah, very cool. I like that. Let us crossfade very quickly to Hira.
Hira,
we're back. You make your way over to Mad Mary's house.
Yes.
She is not there. Of course, she's out in the town square doing something.
Yeah, I can hear her.
Yeah, you can. What are you doing?
I want to figure out if there is at what point do people get the red X?
Got it. What are you doing at the house? Are you going inside? Are you?
I mean, why not?
Well, I mean, I know that Hira doesn't like to break and enter, so.
This is not breaking and entering. This is finding out information.
Ah, good. Yes, good distinction.
I'm trying to figure out information. So if I can figure it out by looking in the windows, great. But I'm more. I've noticed that the sick people, are like like this malaise is kind of emanating from the home.
Mm.
Right? That is what I'm noticing is the big difference. There's a malaise that's coming out of the homes that have the red X's, but people are still alive in there. It's just this bad shit. And Mad Mary is mad. I know why she's mad. I get it. But like what like there's no doctors here. Like who's making these decisions?
Yeah, what a great question.
Who's making these decisions? Who? He's trying to figure out if there's like a rhyme or reason, because at this point he feels like everybody who's in a red X home is not all dead, and completely capable of communicating.
Okay.
And I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm gonna open every fucking door.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check on the house.
I'm trying to talk myself off the ledge. You said perception?
Yes. With a 23,
Yes.
you're able to look in the window. You don't see that kind of unnatural darkness like you did at some of the other places. But you peek inside and you see a completely fine, relatively well-appointed house. Like the furniture is all still there. There's kind of nothing wrong from the inside. You see a set of stairs that go up to the second floor, but there's really nothing else that you can glean from the window itself.
So the darkness is coming from something. The black shit is coming from something. Because I'm remembering the black shit that I threw up when I woke up in the pigsty. So I'm gonna have to shelve this.
Well, you
for now.
You didn't throw up black. You threw up mucus.
Mucus. Ugh. Okay. But the wolves turned into mist. They were shadow wolves.
Yeah.
So like everybody's turning into misty shit. I'm concerned. But at this point I can't figure anything else out, and I don't want to be an E and be a liar. Seems like everybody here seems to have a more stricter like rule about breaking and entering, so I'm gonna adjust.
I mean, you can also make an argument that Mary was trying to invite you into her house last night.
Well, if she works like clockwork, she's gonna be at the gate tonight, so I can talk to her then.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm assuming that Mad Mary is working on a tiny schedule. And by the evening, hopefully by the time that we finished all of our talking, she will be screaming at the fucking gates. That'll be when I talk to her. So,
assuming she's a Stardew Valley NPC, yes.
Yes, I'm assuming in this game that we are playing. But also, I don't want to make any decisions without letting everybody else know what's happening.
Fair enough. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to say that the rest of the day has passed. You are all going to meet back at the Burgomaster's mansion. Do you have anything that you want to discuss in the meantime, or are we going to go straight to the funeral the next morning?
I would like to discuss something that has been plaguing Hira. Two things. He's got two things. One is that he wants to tell everybody about the Red X's stuff. And two, he wants to talk to Ritter about whether or not Ritter remembers being on a boat.
Okay. I'll tell you what. We are going to go ahead and take ourselves a 10-minute break. And when we come back, we will start by talking that stuff out. So everybody, come back at we'll not make it a strict 10 minutes. Let's come back at 30 minutes past the hour.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We will be back in just a few minutes. All right, everybody, we're back. We're back. Thank you for bearing with us through that break. We are back. We are here, and we've got some things to discuss inside the Burgomaster's mansion. Now, the first thing that everybody notices whenever they get back to the mansion itself is that you find in the main sitting room the Burgomaster's coffin in the parlor, nailed shut and ready for transport. In the morning, you will get ready, but there are a few things to discuss first. Hira, what did you want to bring to everyone's attention?
I would like to do it in one of the cross rooms.
Fair enough.
I want us to have. I want the team, as we know it, minus Ismark and Irina,
Mm-hmm.
to meet in the cross room.
Fair enough.
And Hira's gonna put his hands on his hips, and you can tell that his fingers are like twitching a lot because right now the impulse is strong. The impulse is strong. Whatever that impulse is, it's
Can I insight that?
You guys can figure that out between yourselves.
Hita's going to try and appear calm. So I will deceive. It's not going to be great.
All right, go ahead. Fight it out.
I got an 8. I got a 19.
Wait, what was the check? I'm so sorry.
No, not you.
I was watching Kim. Oh, thank God.
Oh man,
Really
everybody
was-
wants to know.
I don't know.
If nobody else wants to insight it,
What's
see-
the impulse?
the impulse is to take every single cross that's in this room and distribute it equally in the houses.
Hmm.
Interesting.
I think Ritter will kind of see the itchy impulse and will grab one of the crosses. Like, are they like bolted to the walls, or are they just like hung there?
They're hung there. They're mounted.
Okay, he'll take one cross off, go over to Hira, and hand it to him.
So I see you've learned something.
I don't know if I've learned anything. If anything, there are more questions than answers.
Okay, well, take this and hold on to it and calm down and just talk.
I wanted to count to see how many homes were condemned. To see what was going on with the red X's. There are people in there. Living people. Maybe not living, not sure.
As tends to happen with quarantine.
Yes, but we don't even know what the cure is. No one's trying to find a cure, a fix.
Judging by the way of things, I go as far to say there maybe isn't one.
What if they're like Doru?
They could be. I don't know. I have no way of being able to determine that because the red X's that appear to have people who can communicate and talk, they're very dark.
What?
They're dark.
So you can't see inside them.
Dark as if you close your eyes and then put your hands on top of your eyes and then maybe another layer of that.
Oh, like magical darkness.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's darkness.
Why don't you open the window?
Why didn't I
I
open
think
the
that-
window?
I think that kind of defeats the purpose of quarantine.
Well, if you keep the word up.
Uh, is that how words work?
Is that how words work? Everybody contemplates. Just for a brief moment. How do words work?
How do words work?
I will say that it's closer to a symbolic ward than anything.
But it's working. It's working.
Well, it
right?
might be working because the people inside are cooperating.
Oh, that could be the other thing. Okay. Regardless, it's dark. I can't hear very well, but there are people in there. I just don't know what's happening. And it doesn't appear that anybody knows what's going on, and that concerns me.
Well, why don't we ask them?
Them who? The people in there?
Well, yeah.
If they were like Doru, I highly doubt they would have been able to even communicate like that. The X motion.
Actually, if they were able to communicate with an X motion, I think they were probably a little bit more with it than Dora was. No offense.
And of the 27 houses, he's going to pull out his explorer pack.
This is a
with-
fucking Pepe Sylvia ass fucking.
Yeah.
He's gonna pull out his explorer's pack, and all the cartography tools or some shit is just gonna fall over or some shit, and it's all fucked up because he doesn't have actual cartography tools, or does he? I don't remember. Anyway, it's all gonna be on the floor or on a table, and it's gonna be like really bad drawing of the map of the town, and he's going to see these are the ones that had X's on them. Some of them are clearly condemned, but some of them are not. Some of them are not. And there could be people in every single one of them.
Okay. What are we doing with this information?
Helping people.
The people in the houses?
We
The people in the town?
They would need help, don't they? We can't just leave.
Well,
This might be, what do employed people say? Above our pay grade.
I don't think anybody's getting paid here.
I'm not.
I'll
I did
eventually like
get
to
a free
paid.
pie.
That's payment.
They're
I'd
really
say so.
good.
Oh, did you have one?
I mean, I told you, she starts out by giving you the free one, and then she lies to you after the fact by saying that she owes you money. That's how she gets you. Anyway, we're not talking about Pie Lady, we're talking about helping people. Hira, if you take this information and give it to Donovich, I talked to the 3 ladies that own the tavern. They're kind of interested in maybe collaborating and helping the town too. I know that Ismark said a lot of mean things about them and that there's a lot of prejudice going on, but they actually gave me some information that if we do go to Vallaki, that there's people to help on the way. And I think there's a lot of judging by people's covers, because I don't think people read books here.
The literacy rate is way down.
Well,
This
it's
is a
just because
crisis.
there's no books here, like, at all.
There's
What are you
not a
talking
lot
about?
of
There's
anything
all-
here.
There's books upstairs. What are you talking about?
There's a lot of
Really?
dead shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
you
there's
should read a book.
well, it's just that I don't think people have books in their own homes. It's
Yeah,
not-
I think Ismark and Irene are a little privileged here.
So
Either way, if it's a ward that's keeping something in, there's an implication that it's not just some sort of disease, right? People don't usually ward
Well, it ain't
Right.
a magical ward. It's a symbolic one.
It's not actually magic.
So, but some of those things were going in a little blind, where if the people are cooperating, that they understand the gravity of their own situation, and it could be incurable. It could be that the means of a cure are out of anyone's grasp at the moment.
Hita's gonna hold the cross that was put in his hand. And he says, "We have it in hand. It's in our hands."
So are you gonna go? But are you gonna go hand those out?
Well, it would be stealing.
I
And
mean, you just have to ask Ismark, but maybe we can make more.
they're not
you
hard to
know?
make. Mordecai will pull 2 stakes out of his fucking bag and get a little piece of string and tie them together so they make a cross.
The non-denominational holy symbol.
Yes.
You just have to get a really faithful person to, put power into that. I mean,
Does it even require that?
I mean, what are
Some people think it does.
What about
I mean, what are
intention?
symbols of holy power without faith?
That's sort of the whole point. The faith put behind it, but the symbol represents that faith, so kind of doesn't
So
need it.
Griffin's gonna bless all the symbols.
Okay, that can also happen.
Yeah, because I don't know who my patron is. God thing. I don't know. He couldn't even tell me what this was. And he points to his holy symbol.
Everybody roll a religion check.
Oh boy. Now this I'm good at.
I don't know. I'm not from here.
Well, I don't know. It ain't my thing. Mordecai's more of an intention kind of guy. He sets his intentions.
Well,
he goes to kill something.
Klaus, what'd you get?
12.
12? 12 and a 13? Yeah, this is a very major god. This is the holy symbol of Seluna, the goddess of the moon.
Ooh.
Ooh, a moon worshiper.
It's Seluna.
The moon? I mean, what are you talking about? There's not just the moon. There's plenty of moons out there.
Probably that moon.
Okay,
What do
well,
you mean,
here
that
in
moon?
Faerun, there's a moon, and her name is Seluna.
I don't know. Sounds fake. He squints his eyes.
Ritter, your whole deal sounds a little fake. You talked about plastic?
Yeah,
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
it again. And he gestures to the plastic bit on his clothes.
I mean, honestly, with the plastic, it's not too far flung that they're... I'm not gonna think about that too hard.
Maybe my moon's called
Is
something
this a
different.
grift? Like, is this a grift? Do you have like more holy symbols under there, and you just? What's the con here?
What do you mean? I don't have a con. And he just
Well-
he holds his arm up, and you can go through his all of the jingles that are on him if you want.
I just.
Griffin's
Oh,
sort of
you keep
fiddling
talking
with them.
Right.
I'm just not used to people just like, here's a religious symbol. Oh, this god's fake. I'm like, all right.
Well, if you've gone to a lot of different places and seen a lot of different moons, and you're suddenly saying that you're the god of the moon when there's a lot of different moons out there, you kind of
Not of this
question
moon.
it too. But we're not talking about that right now. I mean, Lathander
I mean,
sounds
you're
like
gonna
way cooler and like lighter in any way, and Griffin should totally bless all these crosses, and then we can get them in the houses and help people.
I think you're gonna have to have a very nice apology letter for your goddess.
Why is it a goddess? It could be all aren't gods them anyway.
You asked what the symbol was, and you were displeased with the answer. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong, Ritter.
What if someone just put it on my outfit?
They
Man.
could have. It's a whole con. You're the one getting con. Surprise.
To be fair, a lot of people have complicated relationships with religion, so I'm not.
Well, don't I know it?
I don't know. Maybe I'll learn about it.
And he just kind of like wiggles it a little bit as it jingles.
Maybe she'll speak to you.
I've heard that happens.
That'd be nice.
But okay, Griffin, how good are you at blessings?
I'm a little rusty, but
We do
Well,
have an
I did-
opportunity to make this funeral the best funeral we could make.
We can bless all the crosses during the funeral.
I think
have-
maybe the amount of holy symbols at a funeral doesn't have to do with the quality.
Let's make a bunch of holy water.
I mean, I would love that, but I think we should focus our blessings and related sentiments towards the funeral.
But like we
because-
can like baptize, we can like re-baptize the body, and then it'll be like in all the crosses, and then you just pick out the crosses, and like it could be like a whole town event.
So a revival.
Yeah,
go
it's
on
like
for
a
a
new
week.
revival into like his new life, and then it's like a little like fake. We make a fake boat ride, and then Ritter tries not to laugh, and then he goes into the family mausoleum that we found.
I mean, listen, theater background, I will admit. Yeah, we could make that happen, but we don't want to make Donovich and company a joke, though that would be pretty funny.
It's not a joke. It's serious.
No,
And he goes over to Mordecai and he's like, "You think I'm not serious?" And he looks like dead serious at you.
I'm the
He
most
will just
serious that
have-
I've ever been, Mordecai.
Suddenly very intimidating.
he'll just knit his eyebrows at you. Not really budging.
Look, we can take advantage of the opportunity when the holy fervor is most fervorous to maybe get a couple of more holy waters in here.
Yes, please. I used up mine.
Or even just blessing a few of these icons and then bringing them to other people's homes.
Here's an idea. What if we do a few at a time and we leave them at a few houses, like for example the house where you communicated with the person, and see if when we come back this way or come back to check, see if there's been any progress, either good or bad, or if they've somehow stagnated. Little
I
experiment.
still wanted the river. Ritter pouts in the corner.
What did you say?
I still wanted the river.
I'm not opposed to that, but I must say, the moment that I find out that those people are not dying, and not going to harm others, I will let them out.
It seems like they're staying in themselves, aren't they?
I suppose.
If what I gleaned from a quick pass through is true.
But what if they feel inclined to be in there because of... He kind of gestures vaguely around himself. There's a bit of a disparity here. Not a lot of balance.
Yeah. Could you actually maybe take me over to the house where the person...
As long as you promise not to shoot them.
His expression immediately drops.
Oh,
Sorry, my cat's being bad.
hey,
Always the
you be
worst.
nice to Zoe.
Zoe's fucking up my blinds. Mordecai will just stand there, deadpan again.
I'm sorry. I should not have said that.
No, probably not, but I can understand why you're mad about it. I
No.
don't.
I do understand. monsters are monsters, and they can kill people, and people were going to get killed.
Yeah. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but there's been too many times when I've seen other monster hunters, even the most renowned and reliable and successful monster hunters, they find that one monster their career that's got a little bit of humanity left, and they spare it, and it kills them, hurts someone they love. It's really not something you can show mercy with. And
Well, I find that doing it on your own is very difficult. And when I work together with others and we have a shared and common cause, we work at our best.
right.
And maybe either through a lot of work or through miraculous change, you can make a difference.
He'll just blink at you.
And I hope that we together can try and make a difference for these people's lives, at least for a moment. They are hurting.
Right. And they clearly cannot help themselves in the state they're in. So, hey, that's Legos. I'm so sorry. Klaus, will you come get him?
Yeah.
Sorry. So what I was trying to suggest is I have a lot of experience with these things. I've been monster hunting since I was strong enough to draw a bow.
How old are you, by the way? Because you look very old somehow, and yet young.
My character sheet says 26. 26. According to, what I've always been told, I guess.
Time, yes, I understand.
They share it's the Elmo and fucking Paul Rudd nod at each other. I want to try to get a grasp on the state that people are in. Because when you hunt monsters, you see the effects of them.
Well, I will cherish your experience.
Wow,
And
thank
suddenly,
you.
like the way that Hira speaks is like he's speaking as if he's talking to an elder. Because I wrote down that Hira is 20.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Baby. Infant.
Okay, you don't have to, I'm not that wise. Thank you for the respect, though. Mordecai will look around for help. Just all that I ask is when I say what something is, believe me and follow my directions, and we'll be okay. I've made it this far pretty much by myself.
Yes,
Mordecai,
you're very old.
how old is he? Sorry, I missed that part.
Mordecai is 26. I'm literally
Griffin lets out a little snicker.
I'm probably not that much older than you, Kira, but okay.
Not that old.
No.
Mordecai, just a quick question. Do you know if once they get to that point, are they past the point of help? Or
Has
is this
Mordecai-
still
Oh, go ahead.
something we can do for them?
Michael, what would Mordecai know with undead being his favorite enemy?
Once you're dead, you're dead. That does
Oh.
not mean that intelligent undead don't exist.
Okay. It's kind of like what Father Donovich said. Once you're dead, you're dead. And vampires spawn, they're dead. So Doru's soul had already moved on. And the husk of him was left as a monster to suffer.
But is that true?
With everything that I've been taught by my master,
As a 27-year-old.
I'm 26.
Mm-hmm.
My master, God, Michael, how old would he be? How many years of experience? Fucking all of them?
Yeah, probably like several decades of experience.
My master had.
You may be misremembering, or you may be biased in a certain way, because I did also say, like I said, intelligent undead do exist.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that they're not dead. You can't bring an undead back to life.
Yeah.
But, you know, whether what Donovich said about not having a soul is true, that's a little bit more esoteric.
Yeah. Maybe the soul's trapped in the body to suffer. Maybe the soul moves on. But again, once you're dead, you're dead. And there's really... Once you're undead, you're dead.
And I think you're being a little bit biased on who and what a person is. What
Mordecai will
happened
hold
in
his
that
hands
basement,
up.
Mordecai, was that a person needed blood. And you didn't give the situation time to let that happen. Look, and I'm sorry that I...
And Ritter looks down and he looks a little frustrated because he knows that he started the situation.
I felt something, and I felt undead, and my powers sparked, and I wanted it to hear me, so I spoke, and I thought it would be the sun because Ismark was talking, so I just spoke, and then he just started screaming, and then we went downstairs. So I set him off, okay? It was my fault that I set him off, okay? So I was trying to fix it. And we didn't have a chance to fix it.
You're
And that's
fixing
my
it.
fault. But someone didn't give us a chance or time to talk about that.
You unshackled a frenzied vampire spawn.
I did, so he could maybe get away from you.
That's not how that works.
Maybe it should
I'm
have.
sorry, but that's not.
I think we need to come up with some sort of agreement on that, and there will be plenty of time to find nuance. I assume a place that has vampire spawn is going to have a lot of undead that we will definitely encounter.
So what if they're in those marked houses?
We'll have a discussion about it. We'll figure it out. But for now, we're not going to figure everything out. That is a question that many people sit on a rock and ponder about.
I've
Let's
seen
just-
a statue about that before.
I will say that Mordecai doesn't look.
You got me.
Look, Mordecai doesn't look mad or like he wants to fight about it. He has kind of curled in on himself a bit, and he looks more resigned than anything.
But a lot of knowledge about undead is very good in our situation. I don't think a lot of us have dealt with undead. I certainly
Personally, I
haven't.
can't say I have.
I can always give a rundown.
And we are pleased to understand it. He says in a way like Mordecai has like teacher vibes.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Okay,
And
but
then
if this was an anime, Mordecai would be the teacher. The teacher archetype, the exhausted teacher.
yeah, the one
Oh
from
my
My Hero
god.
Academia.
Oh, don't even talk about that man in front of me.
So, but we do have a
Something
funeral to
happened.
be concerned about tomorrow, and I think I agree we should all be in the same headspace. Funeral tomorrow.
Yep, so you guys should probably get some sleep. I'm gonna go stare at the stars.
Real
Sleep.
quick, just so I personally haven't had Matari say anything, but what they've been
Yeah.
doing is once Mordecai started talking about like the Doru, Matari kind of faded back from the group a little bit, and they've just been like staring at Mordecai with like this humorless smile on their face. Uh, and then when the party disperses, they just go to their own room.
For a moment, I was imagining, you know, the scene in the Addams Family movie where Morticia has like that flash of like that highlight on her eyes all the time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Imagine like shade, and all you're seeing is like Matari's bright blue eyes just
Yeah.
staring.
That's a visual.
uh, Ambiance.
Very
Mm.
kitty-like.
Meow. Matari. Meow Tari.
Meow
Oh,
tower.
Biotari's relevant again.
Yes.
All right.
Kira-
So you guys all break for the night.
Yeah. I guess Hira will have to wait for Mad Mary outside.
Yeah. Do you want to go out and do things at night?
I'm going to sit on the stoop and wait for Mad Mary.
Okay.
Which would be where Ritter is looking at the stars.
If you, which is fine, you guys can have a conversation. I will say, if you do anything more than just have a conversation with Ritter, if you go and do something at night with Mad Mary, I will only grant you a short rest.
I'll take the short rest.
Okay. But yeah, you can wait out front with Ritter for now.
Sweet.
So
So, I think Ritter probably just would have. I think how when Ritter goes to sleep outside, he starfishes. It's almost like starbathing,
No.
and eyes just wide-eyed, staring outward. Are there any stars to be held, or is it just gray, murky, nothing
It
there?
is gray, murky, nothing.
Great, awesome. Forecast as usual.
it's Seattle weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hira's going to take a crisscross applesauce next to Ritter. Just kind of flop down, not trying to be sneaky or anything like that. He could if he wanted to, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to sigh, lean back on his hands, and look up at the stars. So you don't remember anything?
Unfortunately, that's the whole reborn thing. I learned that a couple of times around. I managed to force myself to remember that one.
And this just happens?
What do you mean just happens?
I mean that it just you don't get to pick whether or not you become one?
What, a reborn?
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it too much just because I haven't really had a lot of resources to look into, you know? Not a lot of people that are willing to talk, or not a lot of time to keep all the information in one spot, you know?
Well,
So
who
whenever
knows?
I do have information, it just kind of gets stuck or lost, you know, it gets reset. It sucks.
Right. Well, who knows? We might be staying here longer, which means that if that happens, we'll have a record.
I hope so. I mean, it was kind of a gamble doing the whole screaming with the wolf thing, trying to attract you guys. I heard you for a little bit, and I hoped, you know, you guys would be strong enough to take care of the wolves, so I'm glad it worked out.
Yes. That's how things always end up sort of happening. Things just sort of happen. And
Yeah. I'm glad you guys aren't completely, like, weirded out by me or anything. I
no,
was worried
actually,
about that, too.
no, I'm going to be 100% honest. I am a little weirded out.
Oh, sorry.
Not
You
by
can...
you. No, not by your predicament. Just by the circumstances by which your predicament and my predicament are coming together.
Oh, yeah, the wolf thing was weird, yeah.
No, 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 no. There was a different thing.
His head kind of like slowly creens back further to look at him.
I remember you.
Do you hate me?
No, you saved the crew's life.
Michael, when Hira says crew, can I associate crew with friends?
Yes, absolutely.
Ritter kind of very quickly tumbles. There's this wind chime effect that kind of happens. And he goes on his hands and knees.
Wait. Wait, you're one of them?
Presumably.
Whoa. Really? You're not like pulling my leg or anything like that?
No, I remember you.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if maybe you were like overhearing or something like that, and you were maybe like trying to like use it to like, you know, like someone's like advantage or something like that. So I was like, you know, just like double checking.
Why does everybody assume I do roguish things?
No, it's not you. It's just
And like his eyes kind of like they tremble and they kind of like look down like at like himself. And I will say that Ritter's starting lifestyle, I picked wretched. So, and I kind of think like that fits for the kind of roguelite he's had up until now.
I just don't have a bad track record, man. So if you overheard that, you know, and you know, you could just be honest.
I have no reason to lie about this.
His eyes kind of like flicker again, and he's like,
Okay.
I remember you on a boat. We were all part of a crew, I believe. And there was a storm. A big storm. And you controlled the storm. You calmed it down enough that we were able to recover the ship and gain control and save lives.
Really?
I think.
I must have been way cooler than I am now. That sounds like way better spell usage than
and he kind of like lifts his hand up to kind of demonstrate like the beginnings of say like the spell of like gust of wind.
Well, if you passed and restarted, then you would be back at 0, wouldn't you?
I guess you're right. You're right. So you're here to find everybody too? That's all I remember. I mean, I just remember losing everybody.
I going to suck his teeth and he's like, I don't actually know if that is true.
That everyone is lost?
I don't even know if that's what I've been doing. Seems I've gained a bad reputation here already. But I don't remember what I did here.
I mean, I only know that we've been here for a couple years. I mean, it could be longer. Have you been doing the looping thing too?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
I just look, again, too much things to think about, but I wanted to reassure you. You may have lost a friend, but you've gained another.
cool. Yeah.
And he kind of like reaches out and he very quickly flicks you on the forehead.
Okay. Probably don't do that anymore.
No, it's what we do.
I'm not doing that.
You have to stay awake.
I am going to find Mad Mary. You rest, and I will go find Mad Mary.
I can come with you.
You need your rest too.
I mean, all I do is just sit here for 4 hours, just staring up at the sky, but sure.
And he flops back down.
You have to prepare for whatever religious duties we all must be doing tomorrow. I'm not too sure. And he waves his hands around like he's like, I don't really care about this funerary rite stuff. It seems bogus to him.
It's like his mouth is open and then it like just like slowly closes as the hands wave over his head.
He's like, all right, I won't get into it. I don't even know anything about it either. Which, if you knew anything about Salune, you should have told me.
I don't.
Cool! Have fun!
It's true, I don't. I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
He says that.
Everybody's nose starts bleeding.
And I think like as Hira like walks off, like Ritter like pretends to be like chill about it, but then like as he's walking away, his feet start wiggling, and then Hira will hear immense amount of jingling. The end.
I got a friend. I got a friend.
And he makes noises. Okay, you make your way down the street to try to head back to Mad Mary. As you kind of turn the corner to where her house is, you do see her standing there, staring up at her own house. What do you do?
I'm going to try and approach her and not spook her.
Yeah, you kind of make your way over there and make enough noise as you're walking that she's able to turn to you and see you.
Yes. Mary?
Gone. She's gone.
I know she's gone. You've told me that yesterday. We're going to have a funeral tomorrow.
Not dead, just gone. Not dead, just gone.
Are you sure?
Just gone.
Well, there's going to be a funeral tomorrow. Maybe seeing some of the church would make you feel better?
No. Nasty. Wicked.
It can be. But we can go together.
Not together. Together is lost.
I wouldn't write that off entirely. You won't know until you try.
She's gone.
Okay. He's gonna stand next to her and let her kind of do her thing until she starts yelling at him.
She doesn't.
Okay.
She just kind of looks up at you and almost had this weird earnestness in her eyes.
Cool. Hida's going to stay there as long as she does, and if she goes into her house, he's going to help her get to her house.
She is not going in, but she is getting impatient, kind of looking back and forth between you and the house.
Mary, I shouldn't intrude in your house this late hour, but
She's
I do have
gone.
You keep getting mad at me when I don't go into your home. Is there something in there?
Not anymore. Nevermore.
Well, then I won't go into your home.
She's gone.
What do you want me to see in your home?
Find her, bring her home.
That will take time, Mary.
Find her there.
Find her where?
Bring her home. Home, home, home.
Mary, I will do my best. But that's all I can give you.
Find her there.
We'll try. I have to go. I need my sleep, and so do you.
Gone. Gone like the
I'm
others. Gone like her.
I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. And he's going to do the same thing. He's going to put his hands up, step back, and start walking because he does still need his rest. So
Yeah, she just starts shrieking at you and yelling obscenities as you walk away.
Yep. Well, that's day 2.
That did not take long enough. You can have yourself your long rest.
Okay. I will take it then.
All right. As everybody gets their long rest, you are able to recharge your spell slots, your hit points, everything like that, your hit dice. And as you wake in the morning, Irina and Ismark are wearing black for the occasion. Irina is already slightly weepy. Ismark's glassy eyes betray his feelings as well, though he can't help but crack a relieved smile at the sight of all of you here to help send his father to his final rest. Do you have anything that you want to do before the funeral?
Drop off crosses at all the houses?
Before the funeral at dawn?
Oh, no. Probably not a good idea. We will hold off on that.
I think Griffin's carrying a candle with her.
Okay. Who is pushing the wagon?
Mordecai will help.
Okay.
Hida will help push.
Awesome.
That way Ismark doesn't have to push either, so.
Yeah. All right. So, you all help convey Kolyan's coffin through the streets toward the church. Scattered crowds line the main road to see the burgomaster off, with Ismark remarking that there always seem to be fewer and fewer people every day. As the procession finally makes it to the church, Father Donovich stands outside the gates of the ceremony to escort the coffin to the graveside. It is laid across 2 thick lengths of rope that will be used to lower it down into the crypt. After, of course, Father Donovich then takes his place at the head of the proceedings. The mourners, which consist only of the 2 children of the burgomaster and yourselves, gather around the small grave to hear the last rites. Donovich clears his throat and holds a small, well-worn holy book. He quietly begins to speak. We welcome you, Morning Lord, and we honor you this day, celebrating your light as we partake in our journey once more. Great and powerful, the sun is your blessing and shows us your loving way. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your warmth that touches us to the core. Shining down on the land and sea, making things grow and bloom, your eternal love will always be in our hearts, O Lord of the sun. We hear you, Dawn Lord, for you are the beacon who casts away the gloom, and we devote our days in your holy name, and the darkness we shun. In your name, Morning Lord, we pray. We gather here this day in the light of his glorious morn to pay respects and final rites to Kolyan Indirovich, burgomaster of the village of Barovia. There is little that can be said about this man that has not already been illustrated by his deeds. As Donovich continues the ceremony, we focus on the faces of Ismark and Irina, solemn but happy. Happy to see the torment of their father laid to rest at last. Happy for the newcomers that helped them bring dawn to what seemed an endless night. Donovich's sermon continues in muted tones as we see the faces of each of you, the arbiters of the ceremony. Though getting to this point was no easy feat, and the fight below the church certainly took its toll, you are all here for Irina and for Ismark. Though the conflict ended in tragedy, you may rest easy knowing that poor Doru's soul has also been put to rest today, although Donovich may have a harder time accepting that fact. We return again to the modest graveside where Donovich, looking a bit flushed, continues on. Lathander teaches us not to mourn those we have lost, for from death shall come life anew, just as from night the sun shall rise again. Therefore we commit this man to the earth with the promise that perhaps someday light will shine upon us again. He instructs those of you who helped bear the coffin to take up lengths of rope. Irina and Ismark do the same. And as he beckons you to begin to lower the coffin down, he speaks again. Farewell, illuminated one, until we meet again. We carry the sun in our hearts until then. Give us the strength to carry on until the next dawn. We greet your ally, the Moon Maiden. Her silver light guides us until then. There is always another dawn. Farewell, precious sun. Donovich closes his book and directs those who helped bear the coffin to the cemetery to take hold of the ropes, gently lower the body down. After the ropes are removed from the slightly wilted flowers gathered in Donovich's basket, each mourner is encouraged to drop one in the grave for the burgomaster. Does everyone do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In
Yes.
turn, each of you do. First Irina, then Ismark, Mitari, Mordecai, Griffin, Hira, Ritter, Donovich himself, and then another. A verdant scarlet rose falls to the top of the small mound. It gives a moment of pause to those surrounding the grave as Donovich, Irina, and Ismark look to the person who dropped it. A tall man, wearing a doublet of rich red, a fur-lined cloak draped over his frame. His long dark hair is swept back to reveal his full face, resting in a state of quiet contemplation. Ismark steps in front of Irina slightly, and Donovich gasps as the man lifts his gaze from the coffin below to meet all of yours. I have come to offer you my deepest condolences for your loss. Kolyan was a very courageous man, loyal to his people until the very end. It is always a shame when a great life comes to an end, so I hope you will accept my sympathies. Forgive me, but I believe we have not had the pleasure of acquaintance before. I take it as a personal duty to welcome each and every new visitor to my kingdom personally. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Count Strahd von Zarovich, ruler of this land and lord of its people. Welcome, dear guests, to Barovia. What do you all do?
Take
Do I
a
remember
couple
this?
steps back.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah.
We're just taking a couple steps back.
Who's he next to? I guess that's the real question. Like,
Yeah,
who is
like,
Yeah.
what's
unfortunately
the...
next to Strahd?
I'm gonna say that he is between Mordecai and Mitari.
No! Mordecai does not look him in the face. Mordecai looks at his feet. Strahd's feet.
Matari will kind of, after coming over the little shock, will quickly put on their mask and like just their smile, and give like a small like gesture of welcome. It's like it's not every day a ruler comes to greet subjects.
I
We're
find it
usually
only
honored.
appropriate. Again, I welcome you all to Barovia, and I do grieve your loss tremendously. As he kind of says that, Ismark pipes up and says, You grieve his loss. It is because of you that he is in the ground. And you show your face here.
Hida's going to move towards Ismark to try and hold the boy back, because I think he's allowed to be mad. But I do not trust the situation.
Michael,
Yes.
do I remember this man?
You do not remember this man.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever met this man. But we will get to that in the future.
Okay.
Strahd kind of puts a hand up to you, Hida, saying, no, basically going, it's okay, I get it. And Strahd will say, quite plainly, the decision Kulyan made to support violent insurrection was misguided, and its consequences regrettable. I had nothing but respect for your father, as I do for all my burgomasters, and his betrayal was disappointing, to say the least.
Define a betrayal.
The burgomasters serve the crown of Ravenloft. It is by their grace that my will is done through this land. His decision to march with that mage to attempt a violent coup of our government was by its definition a betrayal.
And what if that government no longer serves the people?
You are new to Barovia. It is understandable that some people are quite discontented with how things have been ever since the mists swallowed this land. But I assure you, everything I do is for Barovia.
Are you the reason why the mists are here?
Many would like to assume that that is the case. But in truth, I am just as baffled as any of my subjects.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yes, you may.
I'm gonna roll inside too.
No food, let me hit the fucking button. That's a non.
23 insight from Ritter. He genuinely believes this. He is genuinely not aware as to why there are the mists surround this land.
Does that not suggest that there's something higher than you?
I do not think myself a god. I am merely a lord stewarding his people in a difficult time. But make no mistake, in Barovia I am its people. I am the land. And everything that happens to my subjects I feel tenfold. Though I understand that it is difficult for some to believe such a thing. So I say again, Kolyan's betrayal. Betrayal of my trust, though not, I am certain, entirely his fault. When men come here and promise salvation, it is easy to see why people flock to such promises. And I am sure that his choice to go with the mage was a choice he no doubt regretted until his passing. But I am not without mercy. I was prepared to forgive his transgressions with open arms, should he repent. And the facts, I am afraid, are not what you believe them to be. I did not kill your father. If you would like to know who did, I believe you have already met. He casts his eyes over to the fresh grave bearing Doru's body. Ismark and Irina are kind of taken aback by this. Does anyone else have anything to say?
How are we to know this is true? Is there something concrete?
Alas, the only thing that was concrete is the testimony of the boy, but you saw to it that he was put out of his misery.
Me. Use me. I was there.
Did you turn that boy?
Turn.
Change.
I see that my reputation precedes me. There are those among the town that believe me to be a monster. That believe me to be some undead thing.
Mordecai sweats!
I am here to tell you that not everything that the townsfolk say is to be believed. Sometimes legends are just legends. What did you say?
Divine sense.
Divine sense? Interesting. Explain to me again, divine sense.
Divine sense, I can only cast it 5 times.
Only 5.
Only 5. Here, let me put it in the chat for you. Presence of strong evil registers on my senses like a noxious odor.
Spidey sense.
I can know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of me.
Interesting.
Know the type, but not the exact type.
You sense no undead.
What?
Mm.
Yeah.
Even with me there?
Oh, well, you sense Ritter's undead.
The usual undead, yeah.
The usual undead, okay.
Run of the mill.
The run of the mill, okay.
every day.
It really
Huh.
is.
Interesting.
If you're not undead, then what are you? I know what you are. Say it.
I am simply a man trying to save his country. No more, no less. You look puzzled, young one. He looks over to Griffin. Perhaps you are not seeing something you wish to see?
Just trying to figure you out is all.
I think we can figure it out pretty easily.
Very
I'm gonna make the
strong
worst decision
Oh,
in the
okay.
game. I'm gonna attack him.
I'll
You're
miss
gonna
you,
attack
Ritter.
him.
Yeah, you're gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me.
I loved you.
In what way are you
There
going
you
to
go.
attack him?
I want to throw out a spiritual weapon and fucking ram it through this man because this man is the problem. According to Ritter, this man is the problem.
And violence
Still.
is the solution.
Let me not hit him.
Roll, yeah, go ahead and roll the attack.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use
Inspiration.
I'm gonna use my inspiration too because why not? Level 2. Let's go, baby. Oh, cool. Well, that originally rolled with the 23.
Roll again, see if you crit.
CR27.
Yeah, I guess let's roll again.
Christ.
Spiritual weapon, level 2. What the fuck?
Interesting.
And
give,
then
give me 2 seconds here.
Yeah, sure. I'm also want to see something here with my divine wrath. Oh, no, that's only for thunder damage. I can't. This is force damage. Knowledge of a past life. I can also. I'm gonna use my knowledge of a past life to also add on to this to see if I can possibly hit him. So that makes that now 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 28 to hit.
Okay, I need you to roll that attack once more.
Roll attack once more. Okay.
The 5 will still
spiritual.
apply.
Sure, yeah. Crit.
Christ. Okay. So it's not a crit. It is a 23 to hit or a 28 to hit.
Okay.
As some you see like a flash of rapid movement as a sword comes down to try to block the spiritual weapon, but it only manages to glance off of it as you do stab this spear into Strahd himself. And there.
So you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted him to say something. So you can bleed.
Yeah, he very much is bleeding. But the figure that is right next to you, this person who rushed up, takes his sword and holds it to your throat. You see this dusky-skinned, long-haired man wearing full plate armor. As you stab Strahd, we'll say in the shoulder, deep through. This man holds the blade to your throat and says, "That is the last mistake you will ever make, whelp." And Strahd holds up a hand and says, "Rahadin, stay your hand. This one was merely testing the waters." Boy, I can assure you I mean you no harm. If you would kindly dispel this blade, we can talk like civilized people.
Ritter looks over to Hira. And I'm going to throw the ball to you, Jesse. the ball of chaos, I'm gonna throw to you.
Oh shit.
I think I made a really interesting predicament for us.
I think you did.
I'm not associated with this guy. I don't know who he is.
Kicks
Hita's
Ritter into the grave.
Hita's eyes are probably gonna be bulging out of his skull though. Like he's it's not like he can hide it. It's just like, oh shit, that just happened. And
Based on the things that, that were said.
Gosh, I don't know. This is tough because I feel like I want to try and talk this down. Like, let's all be. We don't want to fight on consecrated ground. We don't want to.
Seems like Strahd's trying to talk it down.
Yes, and I agree. Like, we shouldn't have a fight over here because if we deconsecrate this ground, we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen either.
Can Mordecai say something?
Sure.
Ritter, I know you're angry, but we need to lay Doru to rest. We can't do this here, and we don't need to do it here.
Your friend speaks wisely, Ritter. I would suggest you heed his advice.
Ritter.
Only because not everyone else gets a second chance.
And it'll dissipate.
Strahd
Mordecai
will,
looks like he can breathe.
yeah, Strahd will kind of like take a stumbly step back, raise his hand up to this man that you know as Rahadin now, again, and wave him off. And he will remove the blade from your throat and take a step back. And he sees, Strahd says, I see that I am indeed not a welcome mourner. That is fine. When we do meet again, I hope that we can speak as civilized people, and that I may entrust more information upon you, and entreat that you listen.
You can talk to them. I'll go.
Huh?
If Strahd wanted to stay and talk, Ritter will kind of bow ahead.
I don't think Ismark and Irina want him here either anyway.
That's fair too.
The
I'm
three
get-
NPCs are mortified right now. They're absolutely
yeah.
terrified.
I'm getting this.
Mordecai
I'm getting
is
this sense-
mortified.
Ritter
I'm getting the sense
Ritter
that
turns and takes his siblings with him.
Yeah.
I'm getting the sense that Strahd is dismissing his subjects.
At this point, yeah, Strahd kind of stiffens up a bit and says, I will leave you all to your mourning. Good day to you. And again, and he turns and he makes a very pointed look to Ismark, to Irina. My sincerest condolences. Strahd gives a polite bow, a pointed nod toward Ritter, and turns to stride toward the cemetery gate, where a sleek black carriage awaits, its door open. He steps into the door, which closes behind him. Rahadin makes a less polite stare to all of you, turns, mounts the carriage, and cracks the whips as the carriage pulls away. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope that you guys had some fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. One more time, let's go down the road and let's introduce ourselves. My name is Michael. I am the Dungeon Master, being played by Count Wagula. Klaus.
I'm Klaus. I'm playing Griffin, now a level 4 paladin.
Morgan.
I am playing Matarium Nightfall, and Tiefling Warlock.
Jesse.
I'm Jesse, and I'm playing Hira, who's causing trouble.
Correct. Julian.
Hi, I am playing Ritter, who I just found is a Saloonite, Tempest Cleric, who is also causing trouble.
And Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I play Mordecai, our Monster Hunter Ranger, who is mortified of what just occurred.
I'm sure we're going to have a long discussion about that next session. Thank you all so very much for joining me. We are going to be back next week on a Tuesday, playing the very next session. We can see exactly what happens when you strike the ruler of Barovia. Have a good night, everybody. Everybody say bye.